What is up, weather enthusiasts? I'm your host, Pat's Path Predictor. Let's get right into the weather. Tonight, we are going to do a pretty big stream with you guys. We have a very big situation that is going on across much of the tropics that we're dealing with, and we have our group Storms United that is, at least some of us are going to help cover it. I'm going to go ahead and start and introduce some of our folks that are here. Let's go ahead and start with Tristan. Tristan, say hello.
Hello.
All right, Sebastian, go ahead and say hello. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm good.
All right, and Justin, how are you doing?
Doing great.
All right, fantastic. We're all ready for the stream. We're all ready to go. We're all ready to have to take a look and see what potential threat poses with Tropical Depression 2. As I've been looking at a lot of stuff, I've been very concerned about it. I think a lot of people have been very concerned about it, especially in the Lesser Antilles, as well as parts of the Greater Antilles, and we'll go ahead and get right into that. But before we get into the analysis, I want to go ahead and read with you what the public advisory has said as of the 4 p.m., at least Central Time, or 5 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time advisory right here. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Its present movement is 17 miles per hour. It's moving west at or 275 degrees. Minimum central pressure is 1,007 millibars right there. I'm just making sure you guys can read this on my end. Perfect. All right, so here's the situation that we have right here. At 5 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, the center of Tropical Depression 2 is located near 9.1 degrees north, 41.9 degrees west. It's moving west at 17 miles per hour. It's a relatively quick westward or west-northwestward motion expected during the next few days. On the forecast track, the system is expected to move across the Windward Islands late Sunday and Monday. Maximum sustained winds are at 35 miles per hour. Steady strengthening is forecast, and the depression is expected to become a tropical storm tonight or early Saturday, and a hurricane in a couple of days. That's going to be a very interesting thing that we're taking a look at, especially if this verifies with what we're seeing in late June right here going into early July. So let's go ahead and show you the cone that we have pulled up for you by the National Hurricane Center right here. What's up?
Hello, I am in.
All right, perfect. All right, we got. All right, perfect. We have Yoshi here. And that's your Discord name. It's a pretty cool one, by the way.
Yeah,
but
it is.
Yeah.
But
yeah, let's go ahead and get right into this. Here is the cone that we have pulled up for you for the from the National Hurricane Center. According to the cone, this is expected to strengthen into a hurricane by Sunday afternoon, and then make its approach towards the Windward Islands late Sunday night into Monday morning, going into the afternoon as it approaches the southern Windward Islands over there as a high-end category 1 or low-end category 2. According to the National Hurricane Center, we have the discussion pulled up for you right here, 72 hours out. We are expecting a 100-mile-per-hour system as it approaches or makes a pass through the Lesser Antilles. As of right now, I want everyone to give their thoughts and opinions on this forecast to kind of see what we're potentially going to be looking at, and just I want an initial reaction as well as kind of some analysis from you guys.
The National Hurricane Center forecast for strength,
yeah,
that is only because they are careful. They actually said if this thing even performs somewhat a little bit, a low and major to a major hurricane is extremely likely with the way this is right now. So I would actually say,
wait, have I just not read
the
this
NAC is 105. I expect if this thing can continue maintaining itself, 120 at least. A decent amount of models want a category 4, but there are one or two caveats that I'm not. Right now, my expectation is between 105 and 125 miles.
Okay. Who else?
I would say, yeah, they're definitely being conservative on this one. They have mentioned in the discussion, like you said, how there has been models showing this as a major hurricane. So if we look at the model intensity against in the models, there definitely is a lot of suggestions that this definitely could become a major hurricane. A lot of models show it. So 105 miles an hour, that is category 2. So that is a very strong, but definitely there's a lot of models to suggest the category 3 or higher. And I do think that they will up this forecast if those models continue to show that.
Okay.
I'm looking at the discussion for Tropical Depression 2, and there's two specific quotes that really stand out, and I'm going to go in order based off what appears in text first.
Is it in the discussion?
Yeah, it's in the discussion. I'm in discussion.
All right, perfect.
So, one quote is not suggesting, it says, I'm just going to pull up the quote here. Quote, development this far east in late June is unusual. In fact, there have only been a few storms in history that have formed over the central or eastern tropical Atlantic this early in the year. Now, just for context, all right? For the NHC to say something like this, that is very, very rare. At most, the NHC has said something like this a few times.
Yep.
So when the NHC says something like this, you gotta watch out, especially because they're acknowledging the possible impact later in the season because of this. Another one for the actual storm now, not just its impacts on the season itself.
Okay.
We got, let me get it here. Quote, it should be noted that some of the model guidance is quite aggressive and a fair amount are higher than the official forecast. For example, the hurricane regional models, as in VHWF, HMON,
Yep.
and HAFS, show the system becoming a major hurricane, and the GFS model shows the system deepening below 970 millibars prior to reaching the Windward Islands. They are saying right here that a good amount of their models that they're looking at have it higher than their forecast, and a good amount of them actually reach major status. While I wouldn't exactly say NHC is being conservative, because I'm going to take this out of a good Reverend Andy Hazelton here. He does say that he thinks that these models are overdoing a bit. However, it could definitely reach Category 2 status. It's not totally impossible for this thing to become major, but personally, I wouldn't exactly bet money on it for now.
All right.
I would not. There are multiple things. Now, here is the benefit and the disadvantage that this system has.
Okay,
Its size
go ahead.
Its size is a benefit and a weakness. Because of its size right now, it could easily go, and this is going to be crazy what I'm about to say, it could literally do RI very fast.
Yep.
But the consequence to that, for it being a small size, is one, it might do a delta, where it does it too fast, and it ends up killing it.
Yeah, that's what Delta did in 2020 before it recovered and entered the Gulf of Mexico.
And that system was only a few thunderstorms. That thing really did not have a fun time because it strafed so fast. The other thing is that there is two areas of shear I am paying attention to. There is somewhat of a low located east of Bermuda that is triggering a bit of wind shear, and then there's supposed to be a small trough coming in of a tut near Florida. Those are the two I'm monitoring. But if I'm going to be honest here, I think a low end cat free is the best this thing can do for now.
Right.
Especially with the way it's small. But here's the thing. June systems like this are rare. So even a category 1 would be pretty ridiculous for early June, especially when you consider the tropical wave seasons are August, September, early October. Maybe some go into the Central American gyre and help boost the Caribbean. But it's technically from mid-August to, right now we're supposed to be having Sahara dust.
Yep.
And we're not.
Yep.
So that is a very big sign for later in the year. If this thing goes major in early July, would that be the only time? I need to do my research real quick, but the only other hurricane I can remember doing that was Emily.
Dennis also did it in 2005.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Emily was in 2005. I'll check the Atlantic history.
Yeah, Dennis as well.
Sure, but
And
I know 2005 had that.
All right, what's
but that
up?
was in early. That was in mid-July, right? That was
Emily. Yeah,
Emily
I'm pretty
in 2005
sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think Dennis was
mid-July,
earlier.
So this is
in
even
the month.
earlier than Emily. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So technically, if it does happen, would that be the earliest major ever?
We'll have to
I can
look
do-
at that, but we'll have to look at the record books for that.
It's close. It would be close.
Yeah. Regardless, this is still going to be a very serious situation. I'm actually pulling up satellite right now. There is a sustained amount of deep convection that is firing up on all cylinders across the core of the system right now. If you guys can, I'd like you to take a look at this, and I want your thoughts on this for those for those who kind of are kind of looking at this and are just kind of explain to the audience what we're kind of looking at when it comes to when signs that this thing is organizing and intensifying and that stuff.
Hold on, I'm gonna launch AWIPs here.
That's fine. But yeah.
My GIF is loading.
That's fine. But yeah, I have it pulled up on stream right now. We have a deep burst of convection across the board, sustaining itself. We're seeing decent, a lot of areas of like minus 70 cloud tops. We're seeing a few minus 80s that have been kind of bursting here and there. Definitely a very interesting situation right now. Yeah, essentially the colder the cloud tops, the stronger the system typically gets, unless there's a ton of rainfall in there, and that's going to be very interesting how that plays out. But I wanted to get your guys' comment on that, as well as kind of try to explain to our audience what we could be seeing with this as we continue streaming into the later hours of this evening.
First of all, I do want to clarify, the only other system I kind of know that did a early July, somewhere near early July major, the only one that came close to it was Bertha of 2008, but even then, that was near mid-July. So at least what I'm seeing, ever since 2005, there has not been really a July major, really close to early July, besides maybe Bertha of 2008. Otherwise,
if we are gonna do
it's pretty rare.
I would love to say, if we are gonna do analogs, we haven't seen like June hurricane.
1933 is the only other year.
Yeah, 1933. The Trinidad hurricane was the only June hurricane we've saw so far, and this is probably gonna try to beat that. There.
That's it. That's gonna be very historical if that's the case. That was 91 years ago that this happened. This was before we even named storms, just for context.
I think, if I'm right, that's one of the best seasons, either just behind 2005 or just a tiny bit above.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
The main thing that is like stands out to me, as you guys can probably see on the visible satellite, or any satellite for that matter, is the outflow. The outflow looks like a classic tropical storm. The shear looks to be very minimal. If there is shear, I think it would be coming from the east, but that would be it because it's a little cut off.
Yeah.
But other than that, the outflow it's going in all directions. It looks like it's really building itself up. And I think
here's the thing.
Hold on, let him finish his point.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, let him finish it.
I'm just saying that I think that a major hurricane is very possible. It's just the GFS has done a better job pinpointing its structure and kind of its general strength in the Euro so far. So I think I might rely on the GFS a little bit more for this one, just in the short term.
It's been correct. GFS has been more correct for this than probably any other model so far. For what I've seen. Yeah. You've seen this year, GFS has taken so many blows at its at our confidence with it, and then it just turns around and does this.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But I will say, here's the thing that makes me careful about forecasting. We've seen so many other systems like this at first be good with its birth, but then when it gets to the leewards, it just, you know what I mean? It just dies.
This isn't going to the leewards. This is going south of there.
All the systems that have almost died was the same position as this one that led to the southern leewards. I'm curious.
I would say so many models.
Graveyard for a reason. Curious to see what happens.
Probably after the Leeward Islands, but not during it. I think that it might be it could very well be a hurricane before it gets to the Leeward Islands. but it could
Yep.
die in the Caribbean itself. Also, something I'd like to say, I already posted it. Pat, if you're doing the stream right now
Yeah,
and
I'm taking a
everything,
look at it.
can you pull up VC No Mic real quick?
Yeah, I see
As of
what you're. I see.
8:23.
Do you want me to show you this on? Do you want me to show you this on stream?
Yeah, sure. The top one is at 10 minutes ago, as of when I posted at 8:23 p.m.
Could you show?
And
Could you
in
explain to the
10
audience
minutes-
what this is exactly? Because they just see a bunch of red and a little white.
Oh. Okay, that's fair. I should actually explain exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
So pretty much, this
sorry.
is convection of a storm. This is satellite, right?
Yep.
10 minutes ago, we saw barely any blacks and whites. That is, anything. Almost everything was below 80 degrees at cloud tops.
Okay.
And then 10 minutes later, it suddenly spawned a whole bunch of like cloud tops. It's starting to reach the stratosphere here, I believe. And I'm not sure where the LLC is. I do believe that is around where the LLC is. Can someone confirm on that real quick whether it's wrapping around the LLC? Because I think it is. If the LLC is there.
So
It
basically,
is?
what's
Or-
happening is that the thunderstorms are blossoming up and they're surrounding the center, creating a lower area of pressure. Lower pressure and lower sea level pressure means more strengthening and more outflow and inflow channels for it to strengthen even more rapidly.
Yeah.
That
Pretty
is
much-
what the structure is
Pretty
doing.
much, this is showing two things. One, it is healthy enough as to where it can produce enough convection to do this. And two, that this thing has a low enough pressure to where it can actually start wrapping these type of thunderstorms around itself in the center,
Yeah.
which you don't see on very high millibar storms like 1010, 1008. Actually see this 1006 or below. You can certainly see this in 1007, but the higher you go, the rarer it is. I believe it could be 1006 right now.
All right. Every millibar that drops, that's going to definitely strengthen the system. I want your guys' take on this right now. Do you think this is a tropical storm?
Yes.
I'm gonna need more information on this. It could be a tropical storm, but I wouldn't exactly bet money on it unless if I see more evidence on it being a tropical storm, such as ASCAT, radar, or even Dvorak for that matter. If Dvorak shows a tropical storm, I'm also going to say it's a tropical storm.
So I have Dvorak on tropical tidbits. Would that work?
Right. Yeah, sure.
All right. I have it on stream. I'm talking about right here. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen with you guys right here, just for Discord purposes. What are you guys? Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna pause at the latest frame so that way I can get your guys' reaction on this. This is the Dvorak right here. Just this is the Dvorak satellite we have pulled up right here. And if someone would like to explain why we're using this, please go right ahead.
Pretty much, Dvorak makes it really easy. Not really easy, but it makes it easy enough as to where people use it.
Yeah.
As to where people can make accurate I lost my words, fam. Turning into Joe Biden.
Estimation?
I am literally becoming. Let me get it here.
Okay, let's get back into this.
My mind, I'm becoming Joe Biden. Someone else.
Okay, let's get back into this. Let's get back into this.
Just to let y'all know, the concerning thing about this time is that it's doing this in 26 Celsius. It's not at 29 yet. It's not.
You said 26?
Only 26 Celsius, the bare minimum for tropical cyclones. You could technically get them, depending on the atmospheric conditions, between 23 Celsius and 26.
Yep.
Depending on the storm and the atmospheric conditions. Like, Epsilon was born. Alex was born in 16 Celsius in 2016. But this storm is only at 26, even a marginal 25, and it's doing this by the position on satellite. It's heading into the 27 now, and it's going to be 29 Celsius by the leewards. If it doesn't do a delta and collapse, and it keeps that dry air away with low wind shear. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a Cat 2 by the leaf, depending on its organization. It honestly has that potential.
Okay, one other thing I'm looking at too is the ocean heat content. It's absolutely bonkers right now. As we get closer to where it's at right now, it's in an area of about, I'd say, 50, 60 OHC right now. That's decent for conducive intensification right there. As we get closer to the Antilles, it starts peaking around 75, 80. It jumps up to well over 100 as you get closer to the Antilles. And then as you cross into the Caribbean, it just is a huge bath of 125 plus OHC. And I was talking about this a lot in my videos as well. Essentially, what I'm looking at right here is OHC is a measurement in layman's terms of how much fuel is in the tank for these tropical cyclones. Compared to where we were go right ahead, sorry.
I was going to say a bit more something technical. Basically, OHC is like, how deep do these 30-degree waters go? 26-degree waters, sorry.
Yep.
Well, it could be a wide range, but it's the concept of how deep is the
Hold on,
water.
one at a time.
I think for most things that show OHC, most maps, they do 26. It pretty much shows how deep these 26 degree water things go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important because when a hurricane passes over water, it actually upwells it. That's how hurricanes do get their energy. And sometimes it could pull up colder water. So if it stays in one place for too long, or if hurricane is large, then that could weaken itself. But if you have deep waters that are also warm, then it can't really do that unless it's like really, really slow, like Dorian slow. If you know how slow that was.
Yep, it was pretty much stalling over the Bahamas for a while.
For 2 days.
Yeah. Okay, we have a couple of new people in here. We have John, who is our head admin at Storms United, and we have Shadow in here. How are you guys doing? I know Shadow's deafened right now, but John, how are you doing?
Doing all right. How about you?
Doing fantastic. I've been keeping an eye on the tropics over here. If you've been paying much attention to it, what are your thoughts on everything that we're looking at so far?
Honestly, we can't say this for sure yet, but this could be our first major of the season.
That's the general consensus I've heard from several members here, where we gotta wait and see what happens. But overall, things are going to be pretty interesting, to say the very least. But anyway.
And, someone on the YouTube chat asked, Puerto Rico needs to watch, yes or no? No, I'm going to say this. You are not in the cone. However, this is technically a rule for smaller systems.
Yes.
Because of how they move, any little direction change can shift the track ridiculously. But there is some good news for Puerto Rico, and I'm looking at the Ocean Prediction Center. This is a NOAA type thing that shows the surface analysis of the Atlantic from 24 to 96 hours out. This is good for Puerto Rico, but not good for the leewards or the Caribbean islands, including potentially Jamaica.
Yep.
Basically, what it shows is the high pressure is strengthening, meaning that the system will be a little bit more down to the west. And because the system is small right now, the chances of Puerto Rico actually getting hit are very small. But because it's a small system, if that high pressure forecast changes, that makes it a little bit more northwest, that can instantly change the thing. And interesting enough, one of the things I'm monitoring and one of the areas I'm monitoring is not the landfall spots potentially. Actually, it's an island in the leewards called Montserrat.
Yep.
The reason why I'm monitoring that is because after the eruptions over there, you got a lot of ash, pyroclastic flow material, and that can create mud flows known as lahar.
Yep.
My concern is that if a very bad part of the storm makes landfall and produces so much rainfall, those people could be at risk, especially with only a few areas left to live because of the last eruptions. Those areas could be inundated by lahars. But this is if it goes much more to the north. But I am monitoring that volcanic area too, because lahars can be very dangerous in tropical systems. We saw that with the heavy rains after Mount Pinatubo in 1991.
Yep.
tropical systems and stuff producing lahars that destroyed more communities 20 plus years after an eruption.
Yep.
So I am watching that island carefully too. But for Montserrat and Puerto Rico, for right now, you're basically out of the cone.
Okay.
But Montserrat, I will pay a little more attention.
All right. Okay, we have another question. What do I think the ceiling for Tropical Depression 2 is? Right now, we're trying to figure that out.
I personally... Oh, sorry.
For me personally, between, I'd say anywhere between a high-end Category 2 and a high-end Category 3. That's the absolute ceiling. Realistically, my estimate is 105 to 120. Another question. I am from Grenada. Will it impact the island or pass north of the island? It will pass north of the island, but you are going to get some impacts. Because it's going to be moving through St. Vincent and those areas right there. Grenada's the big island just south of that. They could definitely, if the system grows large enough, definitely get some pretty major impacts from that.
Or even moves a little bit more south.
Exactly.
Because of the high strafing on the Ocean Prediction Center forecast.
Yeah. What's up?
I wanted to answer all three questions at the same time. So for Puerto Rico question, I'd say watch out. For now, assuming that all models somehow get everything right, I would say you still need to watch because there's rip currents. A lot of models are showing the hurricane going a bit south of it.
Yeah.
But even with its small size, I would say you could still watch for rip currents and maybe gusty conditions one day in the forecast. For the what was it? Was the second question the ceiling of it?
Yeah, the ceiling.
I would say
we already kind of talked about
ceiling.
That beforehand,
I would say.
Yeah, go ahead.
The ceiling of this, personally, I would say is 125, but that is like really stretching it. I would say the most reasonable would be 105 to 110. High in Category 2, not at major, but definitely something to worry about. And for what was it? the St. Vincent question, it's going to pass north of, it's probably going to pass a bit.
It's the question was about Grenada.
I don't know where exactly it is.
The question was about Grenada.
It's Grenada. Oh.
And
I would say I forgot where Grenada was. I haven't studied these islands in a while.
It's okay.
Okay. But someone look at if someone more smarter than me could.
I need to say this about the location question because this is what I need to say. For people that are wondering where your location is going to get hit, and I saw a Jamaica question that's also saying this. Monitor your forecast. I'm going to be very honest with you. Small systems are tricky. No matter how models and our forecasts are good, small systems have a very amazing history of tricking the forecaster.
It's really hard to forecast small systems.
Even if you think your area in the leewards, Puerto Rico, southern Haiti, southern Dominican Republic, and the Cone, Cuba, and Jamaica, the whole Caribbean needs to watch this like a hawk. Small systems have a history of tricking forecasts. You cannot, even the NHC, one of the best ever, some of their worst errors happen with small systems. So if we cannot tell you 100% if you will get hit, you just gotta watch it, be prepared, and see if it misses you or not. That's how small systems work.
We can try to make educated guesses about this, but in reality, we have no idea where this is going, since this is going to be a somewhat tricky forecast thanks to its small size. I'm just going to list out the places that could get hit, and the places that should definitely watch this. Anyone in Trinidad and Tobago, Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Barbados, St. Lucia, Martinique, Dominica, Guadalupe, Montserrat, Anguilla, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Haiti, and Jamaica. I would especially say to the people in Martinique, St. Lucia, and Jamaica, you guys should watch this since models are getting this to hit you. And Cuba, Cuba could definitely get some effects on it because this thing will likely near Jamaica if it takes a more northern path. But anyone in the Caribbean should definitely get ready for this. If I had to absolutely say spots that should 100% be prepared right now, Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, sorry for that, Barbados, St. Lucia, and Jamaica should be the ones that should be most concerned about this, looking at the most recent forecasts.
I would also count in Montserrat just in case the storm gets larger and rain bands trigger Lahars.
Yeah.
Because of rapid rainfall. So I would say Montserrat, just watch this, people.
Yeah, put that into
situation.
Okay. All right. So in the meantime, I was listening to all of that. The question about Jamaica, it's going to be approaching there around July 3rd. So I know you're going there on July 5th. It's really going to depend on how bad this thing gets. We don't know what the exact strength of its. We don't know the exact intensity or the exact size it's going to get. So the best thing you can do right now is monitor your local weather forecasts and monitor what's going on in the Caribbean Sea. Because what I'm seeing from this right now, a lot of people are in this path right here. A lot of people could get affected by this. That's why we are live streaming tonight until 11 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. I also saw another question about, are there going to be warnings tonight? My best guess is there's going to be hurricane and tropical storm watches either tonight at 11 p.m. or early tomorrow at 5 a.m.
Models are suggesting that it could reach hold on 60 hours.
I'm sorry?
I would like to say, so... Yeah, Jamaica, I believe, definitely has to watch out because the exact track is uncertain. I would like to note the most recent GFS run has it clearing the island and kind of dying over Cuba a bit, but definitely ECMWF, the Canadian model, which I don't believe is as accurate as the GFS in any respect for this system. That shows a direct hit on Jamaica, but according to the spaghetti models, the most of them and the consensus go right over Jamaica. So I would definitely say Jamaica is at one of the highest threats now, even with the GFS clear going more north towards Cuba in the recent runs.
Yeah. Okay.
I will say that. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What were you gonna say?
Another concern I would love to say for the people in the Lesser Antilles, especially, let me get it here, St. Lucia, Barbados, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Grenada. So, hold on. Pat, can you pull up the 7-day NHC forecast real quick?
You mean the cone, or?
Yeah, no. The, all of it, the thing with the AOIs.
Yeah, area of, oh, yes, of course, yeah. Here you go.
Yeah, thank you. You see this long orange thing in the east. That is a 0-40 for the next 48 hours, 0% chance. For the next 7 days, but has a 40% chance of developing. And for the people in these regions that probably will get affected by tropical depression too, you guys see that you are also in the orange. Most models do show that there are going to be 2 hits, one from 2L and another one from this possibly developing system. I'm looking at GFS right now, and this is showing this 0-40 beelining towards St. Lucia. So I would say for the people in this area, don't prepare for just one hurricane, prepare for possibly 2, all right?
I think that's a little early to say to prepare for 2 hurricanes.
I would say that second system.
Mind you, that this thing is uncertain.
All right. I will say we have been watching it. I am definitely very concerned about that because what the first system could do in the case, even if the second system doesn't develop as strong as the first one, which I really hope it absolutely doesn't, it can still cause flash flooding problems. And here's how: the first system comes, dumps a ton of rain, and next thing you know, all the ground is saturated. Next system comes, dumps even more rain on top of that. You see massive flash floods and in the mountainous areas, mudslides, everything like that, because you have the ground that's already saturated. You're not even 2 days later. It's not enough time for the ground to dry up. You get hit by even more rain, and you're going to get so much runoff. It's not going to. It's in some cases not going to end very well if it does develop, and if we do see a lot of convection with it. What's up?
I would like to say the second system. Well, yeah, we do need to watch it. It's very like uncertain because just for comparison of models, some model runs showed it going through right into the Yucatan, and then you have some model runs for the second system that you take it like into the Cuba or Haiti, and then going towards like Florida as like a weak flow and causing problems there. So I would say, well, you need to watch that one. Is definitely much more uncertain.
All right, perfect.
Anyway,
okay.
I have to go, sadly. So I had fun and good luck with the stream.
All right, thank you very much. All right, have a nice night. Okay, just before we continue, we have 100 people in the stream right now. Be sure to like the stream and subscribe to the channel if you are new. It really helps us get, I'll continue this stream, and it helps us get more people engaged with weather. If you want to come hang out with us, be sure to join the Storms United Discord server. I will be posting the link to join right now. I'm grabbing the link for it right here. I'm going to post it in chat. Control V. And we are going to... Yeah, and we are going to put this here, pin the message right here, just so that way you guys have it. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and continue with this stream right now. Very interesting.
Does anyone have any? I'm just gonna say this. If you guys have any questions about this, since I'm saying this right now, I don't want people to be confused about this. I just want people to prepare with all the information they have. So I want people to ask questions if they do have any.
Of
Plus,
course.
not gonna lie, I do like answering questions.
Yeah, so do I.
I will say, so let's discuss the threats with Invest 95L before we get to 94L. The number one thing I'm concerned about, weirdly enough, I'm actually not that concerned about flash because it's so small. But that depends on the evolution of the system. And there's another thing that depends on the evolution of the system. When you have small compact systems, the chances of tropical tornadoes are a lot lower. But again...
Hold on. I'm sorry to disrupt, but we got some breaking news here. We have Beryl.
We do?
Oh, we do.
AL 02 2024 06 2900 with 35 knots and a pressure of 1006 millibars.
Where at?
40 mile an hour winds.
Where at? What?
Let me get it. It's on ATCF, I believe. Let me get it.
Okay, is this okay? This is not on the NHC right now, so I will say right now it is
we'll call it potential, Beryl.
Yeah, we'll call it. Yeah, right now
I don't see it on NHC yet.
I need to get this. I need to get this for myself. I just got it from a friend.
Okay.
But I trust
yeah,
it.
if you could show us. Sorry.
I do have it in VC No Mic.
Yeah, I see.
We have the ATCF fixed.
Yeah, if you could show me where you found this, like with the link to the site you found or anything like that.
Let me get it.
Yeah, I'd like to take a look at that just so that way we can show our audience what's going on because because I don't want anyone to get confused because the NHC has not designated this a tropical storm yet. So at this point, according to the NHC, it is unconfirmed at this time. But we are taking a look at some other stuff that's going on. I'm gonna get the link to you guys and open it up very soon so we can show you guys on stream. And I'm guessing they found winds of 40 miles per hour via satellite estimates based off of this.
I do believe so. They didn't request any recon so far.
Pat.
Yeah.
We can call it its name. It's confirmed 40. And this is the same system that confirmed it was a depression.
All right.
Yep.
We can technically we shouldn't name it for the purpose of the NHC.
No, we need to. We have to wait for the NHC to confirm this.
Yeah.
We need to wait.
Yeah.
We'll say TS2. No.
I'm gonna still call it tropical depression.
Depression 2.
Depression 2, just for the sake of not confusing our audience. Because it is unconfirmed according to the National Hurricane Center at this time. I do expect this to become a tropical storm at 10 p.m. now, which means I do believe we're going to have tropical storm and hurricane watches out as well.
Yep, I do. And remember, with the way we said that this is a small system, it's strengthening fast, and now it's already potentially a tropical storm. That's why I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised if a low end major now.
Yeah.
This is
Adding
it. Not
it
for the
in.
leewards. I still think the leewards, depending on the structure of the system, would at best a high end 1, a low end 2. But again, small systems are a pain in the butt to forecast.
You see the new HWRF run?
Wait,
Oh
the
God, I
18Z?
don't want to check that.
Mm-hmm. It
Alright.
shows a 145-mile-an-hour storm making landfall on the Leeward Islands.
Wait, what?
Jeez.
Okay,
Which
okay,
model?
hold on. I'm going to show this to our audience, but I want to make something perfectly clear. This is one model run. Nothing is set in stone. This is the H-Wharf, and the H-Wharf has a tendency to be very aggressive with these types of systems. Just want to make that perfectly
bad.
clear.
Not the H-Wharf, the HAFSB. Ugh.
Yeah, that's
Take
even
this
more
with a grain
aggressive.
of salt.
That's even more aggressive. I am
That's
going
an
to show this on
experimental
stream.
model. I
don't
just want to
trust
tell you.
that one.
Yeah,
I
am-
agree with the H-Wharf a little bit, though. It has an interesting situation, which kind of
alright.
makes sense with the Bermuda High.
Okay. I am going to show the halves B
Oh, I'm
just
seeing
for the
it on
sake for
Cyclone.
transparency, but I want everyone to understand this is one model run from a very aggressive model. Nothing is set in stone. We don't know what's going to happen, so take this with a massive grain of salt.
Exactly.
All right, I got more information on this newfound Beryl stuff. Cyclonic WX, which is a website that shows real-time systems from ATCF, which is official, by the way, is now
Cyclone
showing
WX.
Tropical Storm Beryl located at 9.2 north. There we go. 42 west with a pressure of 1,006 millibars. And maximum
you got
wind
it.
is at 35 knots or 40 miles an hour. So officially, at least by ATCF and therefore also NHC, by next forecast, this will be Beryl. You might not see it on the NHC forecast yet, but it is Beryl according to ATCF.
All right.
So that means that next NHC update we will see Beryl.
Okay. All right. I have a question in here. I have a question in here right there. I've seen a few channels predicting the system making a landfall in the continental U.S., Mexico. If these extremely advanced predictions are true, where would you think it would strike? That's way too early. We're not
That is
even
way too
considering
early,
that
yeah.
right now. We're not
That
even,
is way too early, but I can give an education guess based off the Ocean Prediction Center. Based off the Ocean Prediction Center and the high pressure prediction, especially with the way these models are trending towards a somewhat south of Haiti, Dominican Republic, and between Jamaica and Cuba, the best educated guess. If this system does survive, now that's the question, because we know the Caribbean likes to punch tropical systems in the face and loves to destroy them, would be between the very western Florida Keys and the Gulf of Mexico, or if the high gets stronger and it stays in the Caribbean, the best educated guess. That's hard because the high pressure could do anything.
at this
Yeah.
point, it's too
I'm gonna
far out to
say-
even consider that.
Somewhere in
I'm
the
gonna
Gulf of Mexico,
say-
if it survives. Somewhere.
I'm going to say you shouldn't worry yet if you're in the United States or Mexico. I mean, you should worry, yeah, but we don't know where it's going to go. It's
You
way
shouldn't
too far
worry.
out.
You shouldn't worry. You should prepare, watch the system, and do the actions you need to do to protect your life and property and stay calm.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll continue to keep an update on this. That right there. We have more information that's piling in by the minute with all of this. We're seeing more convection firing up with this tropical
Ooh, that's
system.
a good question. Why do smaller storms get stronger faster than bigger ones? That's
Good
a
one.
very good question. I like to think of small tropical cyclones as MC. If you think about it, because they have mesoscale lows too.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, the smaller your area of thunderstorms are able to combat, the more the low pressure can rapidly deepen. It's like when we see there's a good land example, derechos that end up getting an MCV look with a kind of eye feature. You know
Yeah.
why they get intense? Because the low pressure is getting intense.
Okay.
Tropical cyclones are kind of like that.
Except they don't have
In a way.
fronts.
They don't have fronts. No, MCVs don't have fronts. They're mesoscale lows.
Okay. All right. Never mind.
Yeah,
But
so
anyway,
a land example of this would be an MCV. This actually was born from an MCV, earlier in its life. It was actually born from a MCS-MCV complex, and it ended up getting stronger. That's one of the theories in tropical genesis. At least I've been noticing is that when it's smaller systems, they tend to have smaller clusters of intense thunderstorms that end up being able to create a lower pressure.
Yeah.
To be able to wrap around, which I find very.
That is definitely an interesting concept. Also, another thing that could help with smaller systems, with that is, especially as these things start to organize, it's working with a tighter pressure gradient as well as it starts to intensify, because the pressure gradient, like, it's essentially kind of how much the pressure has fallen over a certain distance, and basically, in layman's terms, the tighter your pressure gradient, the more your pressure gradient force occurs, and that's the only thing that drives your wind. Like, it's a bunch of meteorology and it's a bunch of dynamics. I'm not going to get into the meat of it, but in layman's terms, if you have a stronger pressure gradient, you're going to have stronger winds. So that's also another reason right there that we could see something like that intensifying. But anyway. What else do we want to go ahead and look? I know. Do we want to look at 94L now, or do we want to stay on? Or do we want to stay on 2 for
94L?
I want to see if I can put it on AWIPS first. Hold on.
Sure.
What about the
Invest 94L is a decent threat, but I will say that I think it's gonna be much weaker, or in fact not develop at all, depending on the low pressure timing, because the problem with Invest 94L right now is getting sheared.
Yeah.
Even though it does have decent thunderstorm development, once the low pressure gets developed, the problem is how much time does it have?
Yeah, it doesn't have much time because it's going to be in the Bay of
almost every
Campeche.
model wants at least 40 miles an hour. So I mean, it could be a brief thing, depending on what. But I have much higher chances of seeing development with the Cape Verde one.
Yeah. So that's what we're looking at right there. 94L is a 40% chance of organization and development. It's getting sheared right now. I don't see much of a chance of this thing happening unless you see it tap into extremely warm waters and this thing just goes haywire, which we'll have to pay attention to. But right now, I'm not paying too much mind to that. I'm mainly focused on Tropical Depression 2 and the area of interest behind that, because that's going to be affecting a lot more people in the long term. Because where 94L is, it's going to move through the Yucatan Peninsula, and it's going to move through the Veracruz region of Mexico right there. Most likely not going to develop. Tropical Depression 2 is expected to be a hurricane. That's why we're focusing on this, and that's why we're streaming tonight. So that's kind of the overall situation that we are looking at. When it comes to 2, the thing I've always found interesting is just this thing developed rather quickly, and it didn't take long to do that. And I've said this before on David's stream when I was on there with him for a little bit. These are arguably the best conditions I have seen since, at least in retrospect, looking back, June of 2005. That may be a bit of a controversial take, but I want your guys' thoughts on that.
I don't think that's controversial at all. I think that
I would say
totally reasonable.
I'm gonna say this is unusually active. If someone can pull up, I would say I'm guessing that 2017 was almost as good as this. Since that was an active year, I don't know if it was active early season.
2017 was pretty
active early season. I'm stupid. I would say this is probably very. You know what? I would agree with you on this, actually, after a bit of thinking. It is probably the most active-looking season we're probably going to get.
Okay.
Since 2005.
Yeah, and we definitely had a slow start to it. What's up?
These are definitely the best conditions for These are the best conditions for June since 1993, and we have so many sites saying that Beryl's confirmed. Okay, here we go. All right, we might as well call it that now because everything is saying that now.
What's going on?
Besides the NAC, Everything's confirming it's gonna be named by 11. We might as well call it.
ATCF is calling it. Cyclonic WX is calling it. Let me see if Tropical Tippets is calling it, actually.
Yeah, it is 8 p.m., so we'll get the 0Z update on that. Let's take a look at that. Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it is.
Tropical Tippets is
Storm
showing
Beryl. Yep. We
Hold
now
on.
have Tropical Storm Beryl on the Tropical Tidbits website. If they had issued watches earlier, this would have been designated by now. And we'll have to continue to monitor it. Pressure's 1,006 millibars. Winds are at 35 knots or 40 miles per hour. Very interesting night going to be happening. Still a very small system, but overall, it's taking that first step of becoming a potentially big threat for much of you in the Windward Islands. So that's what we have going on right here. That's our first piece of news. We're going to be on here until 11 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time to get the full advisory, as well as talk about the watches that are going to be issued most likely then or at 5 a.m. tomorrow. So as we continue to look at this, and as we continue to look at the satellite from all this, what are your guys' thoughts on the progression of this? Is this exceeding expectations? Is it kind of just doing the course? What are your guys' thoughts on this?
I'm gonna say this: exceeding expectations seems like a very small saying, considering the conditions in June are the best since 1930.
You're
That's
okay.
It's important to note that it is near early July.
Yep.
So I would say this is not the worst so far. I know Bertha made the category 3 in mid-June. Of course, we had the story of Emma. And in terms of July, the only thing that has beat this in terms of early major is technically Hurricane Dennis of 2005.
Yep.
So this is not the worst situation, but this is definitely very close to some of the earliest we've seen.
Yeah, and I will say the development of this system from when I started covering this in my videos has been absolutely incredible. Like, we saw this get tagged, and then next thing you know, the next day, you start to see a bit of an increase of the development. You see a lot of stuff ramping up, a lot of stuff organizing and developing, and next thing you know, I get up at almost 5 o'clock in the morning my time, and we're already at 80, 90, and then 90, 90 by 7 a.m. my time, or 8 p.m. Sorry, no, not 8 p.m. 8 a.m. It's this morning. Unbelievable, and we got a 100%.
Someone asked, is this going to hit Florida?
Too
First
early.
of all, it's too far out, but if it ever does, I don't really expect a lot for y'all because the Caribbean islands, especially with it being a small system, it will likely destroy it. But if y'all ever do get anything, if you do, it would definitely be some showers and thunderstorms, I would think. With the best area in Florida to have a chance of even a little bit of impact, depending on the evolution of the system in the future, would technically be Key West and Key Largo. But because it's 6 to 7 days out, I'm not even putting that as like a high chance. That's like a 20% chance at best right now.
Okay.
So for Florida, you're fine, but I would monitor the high pressure area to see where the trend is.
Yeah, matter of fact, I want to go ahead and pull up one of I want to pull up the forecasts real quickly because I think this is an interesting point. The reason
I got some images for you then.
What's up?
I got some stuff. I got some data for you.
All right, that's cool. I'm going to pull up the forecast. I'm going to use the European to kind of look at the Azores High and see what the 12Z is forecasting since I wasn't.
Hold on. I'm going to give you some data first. It's a bit more accurate. We'll do that first.
Oh,
then check the model.
Okay, that's microwave imagery that John sent me about 7 minutes ago. Thank you very much for that. Let's go ahead and pull this up. This is from the Sims website right here. We're actually going to take a look at this. I have it on stream for those viewing. Essentially, what we're looking at is a much more organized system that's starting to develop right there. You're starting to see that core of tropical development happening, and essentially, you're starting to see that system start to wrap around a lot more than what we were seeing just earlier this morning. Yeah, it's organizing at a very rapid rate based off of these images right now.
I got some very good info for you. If you look in the No Mic, I sent you 4 images of 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, and 96 hours from the Atlantic Ocean Center forecast.
Okay, I'm looking at
And they
this.
show the progression of the high.
The high gets stronger.
Exactly. That's why I said it might move more west.
I'm going to pull up the 24-hour and the 48-hour, and I'm going to briefly go over this right here just because just because I know a lot of people are not sure why we're talking about the mid-latitudes of the Atlantic. Essentially, what we have pulled up for you is what is known as the Azores High. The Azores High is our steering currents of what drives these tropical systems into the Caribbean and into land potentially. Or it can weaken and allow for these systems to flow freely and safely in the Atlantic basin. So kind of what we saw a lot with last year because of the El Nino effect that had to do with this. So this is what we have going on. Right now what we're looking at is a 1033 millibar Azores High, which already is really strong. That's already pretty strong for especially this time of the year, and that's why this system isn't going into the Atlantic basin and instead pushing further south into the Caribbean. This is what we're looking at. About 4 days from now, 1036. This system is in the Caribbean Sea. This is why this is moving into the Caribbean and not out to sea right here. A very strong Azores High, ladies and gentlemen. So I just wanted to go ahead and briefly go over that just to give you an idea of what we're looking at. But is there anything else you want to go ahead and
Someone asked, rapid intensification possible. With this setup, yes. Out there, out loud, yes. Small systems have a history of being very tricky in intensification forecast. So I can't rule out rapid intensification.
Neither can I. Neither can I. Okay.
Near the Leeward Islands, I think it would be the best time, actually.
All right, so what I have pulled up is something Alex sent me. This is the track models for what was Invest 95L, now Tropical Depression 2, now Tropical Storm Beryl. That's what this was posted around 2 p.m. Earlier this afternoon, and it had this thing moving pretty concisely into the Caribbean through the Windward Islands. And then you had some models splitting. The majority of them keep it further north into Haiti and Jamaica, into Cuba at like 5, 6, 7 days out, while others start to break off and head towards Central America, which I think is pretty interesting to take a look at right here. But overall, I would say anything past the Lesser Antilles is something I'm not going to really take too close of a look at until maybe tomorrow afternoon. So
I will say this though, all of those models have a very good solution with the Azores High. In fact, any of those can verify, which is a very interesting thing for me to say.
Yeah,
because a lot of times they'll be like, "Oh, I don't honestly trust these certain models because they've shown the best track record." But that all of them have a very good solution due to the high pressure.
Yeah,
I'm very interested to see.
That is very interesting right there. Okay, let's go ahead and I want to pull up another one of, Alex is sending me in the new area of interest in the Caribbean, main development region, 94L, as well as just, another one from 94L. Overall, pretty interesting stuff is going on across the board, Tristan. I'm sorry, Justin. You've been keeping an eye on this. What are your thoughts on all of this so far? I haven't heard you talk too much. If Justin is there. Okay. All right. If John is there, he's been probably listening into this right now. I know he is muted right now. What's your take on all of this? What's your biggest takeaway that people that listen to you can listen to? John?
Sorry, can you ask the question again?
What's up? Okay, John's mic is not working. John. Okay, never mind. All right, so here's what we have going on. I'm gonna go ahead and show you this right here. Tristan, take a look at Tropical WX discussion in Storms United Discord. This is the European European ensembles from the 18Z. They had the system moving much further north than all the other ones that we're expecting. I want your take on this.
I don't agree.
Is it because
And this is coming from me looking at the Ocean Prediction Center high pressure, but the interesting part about it though is that on the one hand it gets stronger, but it is slightly more tilted to the northwest. But it also gets stronger and move more to the south. That's a very interesting thing because some of them want it to go northwest because here's the thing: if it moves northwest, it dies. That's it. It's done because there's so much more shear up there through the fronts and the cut that is going to be potentially located in Florida. If it moves more towards Jamaica, it will have a better time, but then Jamaica Elizabeth mountain. So for the future of this storm, if that area verifies, it's gonna have maybe a happy time all the way to the Central Caribbean.
Yep.
And then suddenly, and unfortunately, this is the one thing I don't want to happen for the week in a tropical cycle. Landfall.
Yeah.
It would kill it because it's small and the Caribbean is full of mountains. But at the same time, that triggers mudslides.
Mudslides, and it also affects a lot of people.
Exactly. So that's a very unfortunate track.
Yeah, that would not be very fun. I would say the one thing I would take away from that is if we see the Azores high weakening more than anticipated, or if we see this thing just explosively intensify, which pray to God that doesn't happen.
Also, I'm very worried because those tracks are a lot closer to that area I said that had a lahar risk too.
Yep, it's near Montserrat.
Yeah.
So we'll have
on the island of Montserrat, actually. But the last eruption being in 1997.
Yep.
That does matter because the remnants of ash and volcanic deposits can trigger lahars depending on the unstableness of a volcano and how rapid those rainfall rates are. So
okay. All right.
That does make me a little nervous about that point.
Yeah. All right. Perfect. We would like to now take some questions in the chat right now. We have 115 people live right now. Be sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are new. It helps us get more people engaged with weather, and we'd love to take some questions right now. And if you want to come help us out and give us some insight, join the Storms United Discord server. Link to that is in the pinned comment above the chat. So we will take some questions now while we wait for more information to come out because it's been a very eventful last hour and change, and I think we've had a very productive hour the last period. We just jumped up to 130 concurrent viewers. Once again, if you have questions in the chat, feel free to ask them. We'd be more than thrilled to answer them. But with that, okay. I think this could pull a Hurricane D in 2007. That's a very tricky one, because Dean was a much larger system than this. That's gonna be an interesting situation right there. Because the thing with Dean, I remember this was a Cat 2 when it made landfall in the Antilles. It explosively intensified in the Caribbean Sea. Keep in mind this was in August, I believe, and then it just became a Cat 5. Really did a lot of damage in Jamaica, and then made landfall as a Category 5 near the Mexico-Belize border. And then entered.
Someone asked, is it possible to be a Category 4? A lot of models were actually trying to get it to a low-end 4. So,
it's hard for it's too early for me to tell.
Especially since
personally,
it's doing this in a small system, I'll give it a 20% chance, respectfully. But I'm still very cautious. The one to two things are making me a little cautious on the stream. But small systems always trick the forecasters. So you know what? There's a chance.
Okay, we have the 0Z intensity guidance coming out. Majority want them Category 2 or Category 3. Hurricane H-Wharf wants us at Cat 4. Majority of them keep it at Cat 2 or Cat 3.
We were not far off. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what happens no matter what. People are still going to get affected no matter what. We're going to have to pay very close attention to this and take this very seriously. Could this be a hurricane by 12Z tomorrow? Most likely not, unless this thing explosively intensifies when we're all sleeping, which we hope does not happen. Tristan, you were mentioning earlier that this is in 26 degrees Celsius or about 79 degree Fahrenheit waters right now. Is
Yeah,
it
about to
moving
go to
into warmer
27.
waters right now, or is it still in that range of 27?
The 26 was super small, so it's likely already at 27 again.
So where are we at?
Likely 27 degrees Celsius.
Okay,
Real quick,
that is
Pat, I know this
81
is a
degrees
tropical,
Fahrenheit.
I know this is a tropical thing, but I do not want to forget anybody in the Midwest. We do have 2 tornado warnings right now, and 1 recorded on a cloud.
All right.
So well, you're in the Midwest.
All right. Yep. We'll definitely keep an eye on that. All right. I have a question for you, Tristan. How is the dry air not affecting it for our new viewers tuning in?
My normal rule for tropical systems, and this has become a lot more accurate, it's not the dry air. And I know a lot of people are going to say, doesn't dry air weaken tropical systems? Yes, but it's not dry air if it can't get into it. You know what makes systems disorganized for dry air to get in? Wind shear.
Yep.
That's the deadly combo that destroys small systems. But because it's not having a wind shear problem, the dry air can't really get in. It's so moist and combat in there. I don't think dry air can get into it right now. It's very strong. For a 40-mile-per-hour system, that thing is a tooth. It's a sharp claw to the dry air. It is literally, it's like a cat scratching you away. It's not able, the dry air is, or you're not able to pick it up.
Yep.
Which is basically kind of like the dry air not being able to get into a system. That's a example, hopefully. It's very combat, and a lot of small systems tend to do this. Here's the biggest question. Will the tut near Florida and the front combined with a little low pressure for now, I think that will disappear, located east of Bermuda, trigger some shear and make the storm struggle for a little bit? The answer is maybe, because it's a small system.
Yes.
But I'm very doubtful on that now, seeing what this storm has been capable of. But
Yep.
there is some decent shear on satellite. If we look to the west of the system on the water vapor loop, we can see some thunderstorms decently getting sheared west of it, actually, which is one of the areas I was talking about of the shear concern. Right.
Yeah, that's definitely something to take a look at. Just for our new viewers, this is the wind shear map we have pulled up. Areas to the north of it, we're seeing about 30 to 40 knots of wind shear. That's kind of just choking and taking in a lot of outflow right there. Tristan, based on the orientation of the wind shear that's going on right now, what are your thoughts on this potentially enhancing the outflow and making the ventilation a lot better? Well, a lot better.
It is at an angle to do that. I definitely think it's at an angle to do that. The question again is that tut we're seeing, will it go south enough for the angle to become basically to kill it, right?
Yep.
That's the biggest question, because models can underdo or overperform shear. That's the one system there on that shear. And there's going to be another small one potentially near Florida later on. Those are our 2 little shear openers for anything to happen to it. But because, and I'm going to agree with Alex here, I think the first one is going to actually help ventilate.
All right.
As long as it doesn't move too south. The second one, near Florida, though, that one might actually disrupt it with the Caribbean island in its life. But we'll see. Tropics in 2024 has done so many tricky things, and so has severe weather. All weather's been tricky this year. We don't know what the next thing's going to happen with this thing.
Yep. All right. All right. Here's a question. I have a few questions that are in the chat right now. Once again, if you're tuning in, feel free to ask us questions. We'll be taking them all night. I am in the Cayman Islands and watching this closely. Thoughts on if it slows down with all the ocean it has to cross until it meets Jamaica? Surely it'll have a long time to strengthen it to more than a Category 2. What I'll say is we're going to have to watch the steering currents for that, because that's the main driver of this right now, and that's definitely something to pay attention to right about now.
Yeah.
Tristan, what are your thoughts on this potentially slowing down?
The westerlies will not allow it to, but the westerlies are not expected to increase either. This system speeding up would also kill it,
Yep.
or really weaken its potential, because when the tropical system really speeds up, that actually influences its own shear to break it down. We have seen this with Elsa.
Yep, I was about to
2000
mention
and
that. I was about to mention that.
Elsa and the beginnings of Grace. Those had those problems. Once it slowed down, it was able to consolidate. As long as the system moves mostly between 10 to 20 miles an hour, it can be free. It can do sort of, in a way, whatever it wants. In a way. For now.
All right.
So, the speed of the system can also determine its strength a little bit. Someone said, I'm in St. Vincent. Can it slow down as it strengthens? When storms, even if they get stronger or weaker, most of the time they don't really slow down it by themselves. It's mostly the westerlies and the Bermuda High. But interestingly enough, someone asked, could this hit Virginia? In theory, I'm going to say this very carefully. The Bermuda High does take the steering current somewhat to Virginia. Somewhat. But the
it's too early to determine
makes
that.
this really west. But that's in theory if the forecast goes correct. I'm not expecting it to go to Virginia. But in theory, with the Bermuda High position, it technically could. But you got multiple problems with it going to Virginia.
Yep.
Number one, the westerlies. Number two, even if it tried, it would die because of the mountains of Haiti and Cuba. It would just get wrecked. So unless it gets a miracle after the Caribbean islands, I don't expect Virginia to get hit. But watch the system. You never know. Weather's been interesting this year. So just watch it and be prepared if it does. But I'm not expecting it.
Okay. All right. So let's go. Okay, let's go ahead and. All right. Could it still be a strong hurricane in the Gulf? Too early. Too early to determine that. We're not really paying much attention to anything further west than the Lesser Antilles. And the main reason because after that, confidence really starts to decrease quite a bit when it comes to the intensity and the track just a little bit. It's very concentrated for the next 3 or 4 days as it approaches the Lesser Antilles. But right now, afterward, it starts to deviate a little bit, and from then on out, it's anyone's game. So, with that being said, I want to go ahead and pull up some model runs that we have right here. The 18Z runs, according to Tropical Tidbits, are out. And I want to show these models in comparison to what we were seeing with the intensity runs released by the spaghetti plot with the 0Z as well, just to kind of give some context, as well as some the potential threat that this could bring. So here's what we have going on with the H-Wharf right here. We're going to start with
Real
this.
quick, someone asked.
Sure.
I apologize. What can we expect in St. Vincent? St. Vincent, you are right next to the coast.
Yeah, I was about to say.
The system is so small, we can't tell you because small systems, any angle it goes can make your impact from, just a few showers to be in the eye wall.
Exactly.
If it becomes a hurricane. So you should be, in my opinion, because the system is so unpredictable, path and strength, they should get ready for, I would say, a major hurricane. I know that's going to be ridiculous at first hand, but when you realize that track and strength forecasts are harder in small systems, I would just say get ready for a major hurricane. No panic. Just stay calm. Get ready for maybe a major, and then just wait. I am not telling you 100% you're going to get hit. That is impossible to say right now.
Exactly.
What I'm telling you is just stay calm, get prepared, have your supplies, wait patiently, have a plan. If you have evacuation shelter, go there. If you have a safe place, go there, and just be ready and wait patiently. These small systems, the key to forecasting them is nowcasting and patience.
Okay, Alex just posted something into Tropical WX. The system will slow down due to the interaction of the massive ridge. However, it will pick up speed once it enters the Caribbean Sea. I want your thoughts on that take right there, Tristan.
That is certainly possible.
All right.
That is certainly possible.
All right, perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if there's any more questions. There are not as of right now. What I'm going to go ahead and do now is go ahead and show you some computer models that we have pulled up. We haven't showed you these yet really that much this whole stream. We've been doing this for a little bit over an hour 15 right now. We're going to continue doing this until we get the next advisory from the National Hurricane Center, because that's when we get our watches, that's when we get our warnings, and that's what will give us an idea of how strong this will potentially get. So here's what we have going on with the H-Wharf. This was initialized around 1 p.m. my time, around 2 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. So about 24 hours from its runtime, it's down to a 996 millibar system. And then as we continue, it does strengthen a little bit. Pressure's down to 992 as we get down to about 36 hours, and then we get to hold there around 991, 992. It kind of fluctuates in intensity for the next couple of days as it approaches the Lesser Antilles. But what is interesting is as it gets to the Antilles, it starts to intensify at a pretty quick rate, according to the H-Wharf, moving just south of Barbados right here. Potentially could get the eyeball of this system, then making landfall over St. Vincent right there, and and as a 973 millibar system moves through, strengthens as it moves out, enters the Caribbean, and intensifies a little bit further down to a 959 millibar system as it approaches the Dominican Republic and Haiti. According to this, the outer bands are going to be affecting Haiti and the Dominican Republic, which is something we do not want, because Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. They're under a lot of unrest right now. They have zero infrastructure to deal with this. They haven't had it since the 2010 earthquake, and we absolutely do not need another system causing a lot of mudslides over here.
Ooh, I'm sorry, Pat.
What's
what
up?
Are those bands on the right side? Tropical cells, I'm saying?
Where
those
at?
Look great in the model. Look on the right side of the system on those
Yeah,
very
I see
outer
it.
bands.
I see it.
Look at that one. Wow.
Yeah, that is a very interesting thing right now. Now, keep in mind, this is the
We're not
H-Wharf.
saying it's going to happen, but that is amazing where radar forecast can do. Wow. Look at
that is a very impressive structure on this. And then this...
For tropical rain bands, that's on the northeast side where we talked about, there might be some tropical tornadoes. So,
that might be a bit of a concern for those in Haiti. This thing, according to this, moves north of Jamaica as a 953 millibar system. We don't know what it's going to do when it enters the Caribbean.
That's a dentist.
What?
That looks like a dentist if you think about it. Dentist at the same day.
Yeah, it definitely has a similar structure to that.
Which is interesting what the model's suggesting. Kind of like a dentist.
Yeah. Yeah, Matthew is bigger than this. Oh, absolutely, Matthew is bigger than this. This is not going to be another Matthew. I guarantee you that right there. We're just concerned about Haiti because of all the unrest and just all the bad infrastructure that they are dealing with over there. That's why we highlight this. All right. Yes, that's the H-Wharf right there. We're going to go ahead and next show the HMON model. HMON with Beryl right here, 18Z right here, initialized at 2 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. This thing... by 1 a.m. is down to 995 millibars. Tristan, I think you can agree with me that this is very unlikely to happen unless we see essentially a 3 millibar drop per hour for 3 hours. Because right now we're at 1,006, 995.
Yeah.
That's
what strafe does it say at the end? I'm curious.
Yeah, so there's that. Then it kind of slows down in intensity, gets down to 983 millibars by 7 p.m. tomorrow, and then 981, then gets down to the 970s. Let's go ahead and see what those winds are looking like, see if we can, we can't really extrapolate any winds on this, unfortunately. It doesn't give us that option to do it on Tropical Tidbits with the HMON. But those winds, max winds, 969, Tropical Tidbits wants this at 80 knots or 90 miles per hour. I don't know if if it's going to be that weak.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, I don't.
Any model could be right in this situation. I don't like saying that, but these are small systems.
Okay, we have ladies and gentlemen, we have a new member right here. We have a new weather enthusiast member, Andrew Talks Movies. Thank you for becoming a member, and thank you for putting your trust in the Pat's Path Predictor channel. We really appreciate you doing that very much. We have almost 130 people in chat. Remember to like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are new. It helps us out and helps us make more videos and streams like these. The goal of this channel: get more people engaged with weather and warn
Sonny
people.
asked an interesting question. I don't want to nerd out, but I do in a way. I
Sure.
still want to know if a hurricane can form with Saharan dust. I've heard so many myths answered. Yes and no. Actually, yes. Here's how. Clouds are made out of a little bit of dust. You need a little bit, not too much. You need a little bit of dust combined with water vapor and stuff to make the clouds to create the thunderstorm. If you have too much dust, it can dry out. So in a way, you could say hurricanes are born with a tiny bit of dust in them because clouds have dust in them in order to create the cycle for rain and stuff. So it's a yes if it's a tiny bit, just enough to help clouds form and make thunderstorms blossom. It's a no if it's too much.
Of course, yes. So yeah, it's essentially a balancing act, as Tristan was alluding to. So yeah, there's that that's going on. Okay, let's go ahead and continue with the HMON right here. We're down to a 969 millibar system, 51 hours out. Your thoughts on if this is realistic or not? I just want your opinion on this. This is for 4 p.m. on June 30th. 969.
I'm going to say that I can't say yes or no because it's a small system.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I can't say anything about that. It's a small system.
It's a bit.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, this isn't like your average size hurricane where we can kind of gauge what's going on. This isn't like Hurricane Lee from last year, if you remember that.
This is not Lee. This is not Irma.
This is not Adalia.
This is like Andrew unpredictability, where it was a tropical storm and then suddenly, oh hi, I'm a Cat 5 hitting your land. Like, it can do that. I would even say there's a very low chance of a 5, and I know that sounds aggressive, but small systems just do that. They even trick models.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing a 5. I'm just saying that any situation can happen with small systems. However, I still only expect a low and 4 at best.
Yep. Okay, we have a couple people. We have Yoshi back right now. Sorry to cut you off, Tristan.
Yes.
What's happening?
I'm super, super sorry about that. I had to go do some work and stuff.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're looking at forecast models right now, as well as taking questions as we are awaiting some more. Go ahead.
Any new developments about the system, or are there any new questions that I probably want to answer?
We've had a lot of questions tonight. Could this storm impact the U.S. too early to tell?
Disconnect or is?
Yeah, one of them is saying could it hit the U.S. or Houston? Houston is definitely too far out.
Yeah, it's too early to tell.
Oh, definitely.
Too far out. Someone said, Sandra, you might get hit by the eye wall. Sadly, she may not. Small system, any wobble, any change. Could make her get an eye wall or could get her some rain bands. It all depends.
Yep.
It all depends.
Yep, it definitely does.
Also, real quick, Sonny,
we got a $5 donation from Sonny. Thank you very much for the donation. We really appreciate you doing that. Awesome. It really helps the channel out. We really appreciate that donation, and we really appreciate any donations that are offered tonight and with any live stream. We really appreciate that. We also really appreciate if you like the stream and subscribe to the channel if you are new, as we continue to take some more questions right here. Here's a comment I want to take a look at. I'm in St. Lucia, and I'm in high terrain. We could get a lot of wind. My home is built for storms like this. That is good news, but you have to be careful of mudslides. You have to be careful of landslides, all that stuff right there. As a Houston resident...
Someone said, as a Houston resident, this has the vibes of Ike.
Too early to...
Too early. If you want to focus on anything that we're looking at right now, I'd recommend looking at 94L, because... this is going in the Bay of Campeche, which a lot of storms in the Bay of Campeche, almost all of them actually, are quite big and affect
Alberto
a lot of areas. Take Alberto and 93L as an example. Whoever person is watching here and in Houston, you guys know what happened during Alberto and 93L. Y'all got a good amount of rain, I would say. So expect
someone asked
this with 94L.
Could it pull a Charlie? No. Charlie formed in a very good position to be able to hit Florida. This
It's probably
thing is
not
not
gonna do
only
it, probably.
completely
No,
out in
it's
the
not gonna do
Atlantic,
that.
but because of its small size, even if it tried to go to Florida, we all know Cuba would screw it over.
I mean,
It's
that's
that
true.
small system.
That's true.
Could read
Hey,
about,
guys.
Cuba
What's
is
up?
gonna rip
What's
apart
up?
its LLC.
Hold up. What's up?
you know,
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to like bounce now. Dip, go to bed and stuff.
Oh, that's
but
fine. Don't
I'll
worry
catch you
about
guys
it.
in
Don't
future
worry
life.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't worry about
I'll
it.
keep track of everything now.
All right. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
sorry, someone said,
Of
I'm
course.
sorry my donation isn't that much. Even $1 helps the channel out. Don't feel bad.
Yeah. Even the.
We
Yeah.
appreciate every
Exactly.
donation here.
Yeah. 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 Any amount is really benefits the channel, and it really helps me make more videos and streams like these. So we really
Someone
appreciate
said,
that.
how small was Hurricane Betsy?
Oh, we got a $10 donation.
Thank you. We appreciate
from Andrew Talks Movies, our new member. We really appreciate that very much. We sorry, I'm just at a loss of words right now. but anyway, yeah.
Betsy was a normal to somewhat decently big system on the satellite. I can tell the satellite is hard to tell because back then satellite wasn't the best, but it was a medium to somewhat a little large.
Yeah.
System. That's how large Betsy was.
Yeah.
Betsy was actually a decent looking, very good decent looking.
Yeah,
hurricane.
I
It was
saw
pretty
someone
big.
saying that it's a tropical storm. Tropical Tidbits has confirmed it. Pretty much everyone except the NHC has confirmed it. It's definitely a tropical storm at this current
The
point in
system
time.
that the NHC uses confirms it, meaning it's technically confirmed because it will be at 11.
Yeah, we have to
Oh,
wait
it's
till
technically
11
confirmed.
p.m. for the new advisory. So there's
Yep.
there's a tropical wave approaching the Windward Islands. Is it clearing the dust? I want to turn that question to you since we were talking about Sahara dust a lot.
There's not really any dust actually. Take a look at the satellite imagery. Let me make sure I'm right about this.
I'm gonna
We all
use
make
the
mistakes.
water vapor imagery just to
Yeah,
kind of
me
enhance
too.
that. Yeah,
There
There's
is-
no
there's
dust in
dust.
front of this. There's no dust in front of
Actually,
this.
it's not dust, but it's classic dry air.
That's it.
But because this system doesn't have a lot of shear right now, and it's not expected to have any dust, shouldn't be a problem at all. But will it clear the dust? Most likely, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, but there is a decent amount of shear. If you look just east of the Leeward Islands from those thunderstorms, what I was talking
oh yeah,
about.
you can tell the shear is
Interesting
right
area
there, and
of
that's the same
leftover
direction as the
shear
outflow.
That is why I was being very cautious on this.
Yeah, we'll have to watch that. I'm gonna pull up the shear forecast by the European to see what this does in the next 24 hours, just to
I
kind of get a
do.
gauge.
You see where the upper low is? East of Bermuda next to the
Yep.
front. It's like somewhat east of Bermuda. There's like a little bit of a wide low. That's the low I was talking about.
Yeah.
That was creating that one pocket of shear that could disrupt the system with the dry air around.
It looks like the
That's why,
shear
but-
recedes quite a bit to the north as the system approaches the Lesser Antilles, and it's always at an angle to help enhance the outflow. Now there is some
That's
shear to
very
there is some
interesting.
there is some quote unquote shear to the south and southeast of it. That's most likely due to the outflow of the system as well as the tropical system organizing and developing right there. Just wanted to throw that out there. But anyway,
So basically, if you think of it,
go ahead.
it's kind of a very tiny version of Barrett's Clinic Health.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, we got
Okay.
a $20 donation by Jason Bewley. You guys rock. Unbelievable. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
That's wow.
Thank you guys.
Wow, that's I'm just at a loss for words right now. But anyway, I'm going to keep my composure going on right now. Go ahead, Tristan, continue.
It's very interesting to note that on the one, this is why tropical systems are very interesting, because the same systems that would normally create shear, depending on the angle, can help these systems, especially the small ones. And that's why tropics are a lot more interesting than people think, is because this is kind of like mesoscale if you think about it.
A little
We're
bit.
trying to understand the mesoscale enhancement of how it will strengthen. That's the part we don't completely know how to forecast, especially with a small system. On the one hand, this thing could just go a little bit more south and further is potential. On the other hand, it could go a bit more north and help its outflow. And the models don't always do perfect with the positioning, especially with a small system. So this is a very interesting little look here. On the one hand, it looks like it's helping it, but on the other hand, it shears it a little bit enough for a little bit of dry air to maybe get entrained. It's a balancing act again.
Yep.
And that's what's so interesting about these systems is that a lot of people think, oh, it's just tropics. You have a Bermuda High, there's a westerlies, you have a cold front, there's your track.
Yep,
There's
that
your
sums
string.
it up.
There's a bunch of warm water, but there's a lot of little mesoscale areas that people don't really pay attention to until it's too late for the forecast, which I find very...
Yeah.
Tropics are a lot harder than people think.
Yeah. It definitely is difficult. I've been doing it for 3 years, and I learned something new every single day. I took a tropical class last semester in my school, learned something new every day.
Someone said, "Candace hit Bermuda." No, the high is protecting.
Yep.
You have a shield. Who else remembers not being able to buy a hurricane on Sunday until noon? Yeah, that can get annoying in situations. Did they do that back? That is... I never heard of it. That's true.
Yeah. Anyway.
Someone said, what about Jamaica?
Yeah,
Again, it depends on the track, but Jamaica is in the cone, respectfully, so pay attention.
Yeah,
Jamaica is in the cone. In fact, the center is right next. The H point is right next to Jamaica, and the models take it northeast of Jamaica. For Jamaica, that's good. You know why? If it goes that northeast, you'll only get the southern end a little bit, and you won't really get the eye wall depending on its wobble. Yeah, and that's another thing we have to keep track of with the shears. The little wobbles of a small system that can bring it closer to the shear or make it enhance its outflow. There's so many little things.
Yep.
What about the impacts for Grenada? Okay.
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that a little bit.
It could either be nothing with except rip currents, a few rain bands, or the eye wall. But because the system's going more northwest, I don't know. I think Grenada will be fine, honestly. Especially since it's right next to South America, and the Bermuda High is hoping to go west-northwest.
Sorry to interrupt. We just got another $10 donation by Jason Bewley.
Someone says you're from the Dominican Republic. How are you? Very attentive to the system. The southern part of the area is in the cone, and
very much.
The models have been giving you a decent amount of rain bands. At the Dominican Republic, some of the models have been giving y'all tropical supercells, actually. I'm not going to say 100%, but if there was any risk of tornado, the mountains of Haiti and that vorticity would be interesting in its angle.
Hispaniola has a tendency to be known as the tropical cyclone killer for one reason, and that is because of the mountains and everything like that. It disrupts the circulation, the vorticity absolutely collapses, and it just doesn't end very well for these tropical systems because of that mountainous terrain.
But in trade-off, depending on the angle, if it stays over water, I'm not going to say this for the Dominican Republic because it's too early. I could see a few tropical tornadoes. The mountains can help those updrafts.
Yep.
That would be a very interesting, depending on the angle. I would love to see I would not like to see what happens there in terms of a people perspective. But in terms of a meteorological and data perspective, I would like to see what happens.
Yep.
Not for the people, though. I would not like this to happen at all.
You got to be careful on your words, man.
What's going on?
Yep.
What's up? Okay. What's up, Yoshi? All right.
I was just going to say he has to be careful on his words.
Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah, that's good. Okay, that's a little bit of an awkward silence. All right, let's continue looking at this right now. Tristan, Yoshi, you guys still there? John, you there as well?
I am.
Yes.
All right. John, you haven't been talking too much. You've been probably hearing a lot of this, though. What are your takes on all this conversation that you've been hearing?
Honestly, we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Yep.
This is a relatively small system, so I mean like Tristan has said, small systems are not easy to forecast.
Of course
So
not.
anybody in the Antilles, in that general area needs to keep an eye on this.
I apologize for interrupting tropical coverage. That supercell in Kansas is having a very pretty, beautiful look at them.
That's
Let me look at quad radar.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
please
you guys
do,
go ahead and
because
do that.
even
I'm going to
images
focus
of
on the
that
tropics
Kansas
over
cell.
here because that's our main focus. But we have been paying attention to several weather threats tonight, including some in the Midwest with some severe weather. So we're going to we'll have those two talk about that. John, you're my head admin at Storms United. Do you think joining Storms United will get more people engaged with weather as well as kind of engage them more in weather conversation?
Absolutely. We have a lot of people in the server that is willing to talk to you, and it's a good opportunity to meet a lot of new weather enthusiasts.
Yep. Yeah, the top link in the chat is our Storms United Discord server. It'll put you in a holding room. John, I want you to keep an eye on that for the next few minutes as we get new members. There are 3 simple questions. Where you found this from, obviously the stream, if you are over the age of 13, and if you have read some of our rules that we have at Storms United, because, hey, we love to have fun, but we need to have a little... What?
Someone just said, has Tristan had a few hurricanes? Sound like it. My first hurricane was Hurricane Irene of 2011, and my first one I attempted to forecast was actually Sandy of 2012, and then my real one I staged for landfall was Matthew, and ever since I've just been tracking. So tropics have been a decent priority of mine. In fact, I've been focused on tropics so much that I didn't get to severe weather until someone. So.
Yeah, for me.
Yes,
if I may, I'll go ahead and interject on this. For me, I've been watching the tropics since at least 2015 with Hurricane Joaquin. I watched Matthew pretty intently. I remember watching Harvey. I remember being at school when Irma explosively intensified to that 180 mile per hour Category 5 hurricane. That just sustained itself for 36 hours. That was the most unbelievable thing I had seen up to that point. Then I started tracking Maria. Then I tracked Florence. Then I tracked Michael, especially. Michael was a really interesting storm to cover because it became a Cat 5 as it made landfall, even though it was battling a bit of shear to its north, and just it was overall a very compact system, which is probably why it became a Cat 5 at the first place. There will be a documentary out at some point in the future. I highly recommend you check it out when it comes out. But anyway, my first big hurricane for me was Hurricane Dorian back in 2019. Seeing 185 mile per hour winds just sit over the Bahamas for several hours was absolutely incredible. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Did I see a hurricane or did I get a hurricane? I've not been in a hurricane before. I've just been kind of covering them. All right, Hurricane Hunter's going to the tropical storm. Actually, yeah, I wanted to pull this up earlier, as a matter of fact. NHC does have a couple of flights going into what was Invest 95L, now Tropical Storm Beryl. They have Flight 1 leaving at, I believe this is 7:30 Atlantic Standard Time right there. It's going to be moving there. Flight 2 is going to be, I believe, around 8 a.m. This could, tomorrow. That is very good news for that. Because what we use Hurricane Hunter aircraft for is to indicate where the system is, how strong it is, how organized it is, and if this is rapidly intensifying. Hurricane Hunters have been very vital for the last few decades, and I'm always very happy to see Hurricane Hunters go in there to get very vital information for us to forecast back here safely at home, to tune in for you guys in the Antilles as well as the Caribbean to tune in. So that's what we have going on with that right there. Oh, we got a $1.99 donation. Harvey was horrible. Yeah, Harvey was absolutely
Harvey was the only storm I actually kind of cried.
Yeah, same here.
Because here's the thing that made Harvey so scary. It wasn't the landfall. Kind of used to those. It was, how do you take cover in a tornado when you have 60 inches of rain flooding your basement?
Yep.
That's the part that got me, was that I hate tornado and flooding at the same time. I always have hated it. And Harvey was just that situation. And in one of the, I saw a video of Harvey in Houston.
Yeah.
There was a storm on the outer rain bands during the night of landfall. It had so much lightning, it looked like a supercell in the Midwest. That's how intense some of those bands.
Yeah. Harvey
It
was a
was
very,
incredible.
very interesting storm. What's up? What's up? Okay. But yeah.
I do want to remind people that the next National Hurricane Center update for what is now Tropical Storm Beryl is going to release within an hour.
Yep.
Or a little bit early. Technically, they, especially in these situations,
That's why I'm saying now, because it is 9:50. They could release it 10, 20, 30 minutes for all we know.
Yep.
Up to an hour, probably.
Yeah. Okay, we got another
for
dollar
people-
donation as well. Thank you very much. But please
And
continue.
for people, if this thing does get watches from mornings by 11 p.m., the next advisory for Beryl will actually be at 2 a.m., but then the next full advisory will be at 5.
Yep.
So basically 11 p.m., 5 a.m., 11 a.m., and 5 p.m. are the full advisory. And then the half advisory, so watches and warnings occur at 2, 8 a.m., and 2 to 8 p.m. But during those half advisories, they can do strength and pressure estimates too, depending on recon analysis.
All right,
we got a new person in here, Wubsy EAS.
Yeah, how are you
Hello.
doing? Hey, we've been watching the Tropics. I'm not that's going on, potentially impacting the Antilles. I'm not sure how much attention you've been paying to it, but it's looking like it's going to be a very serious situation in the next few days or so.
Oh God! All right, well, I'll leave y'all out.
Hey, if you guys want to join, and help us out, we'd love to help. We'd love to help.
I'd recommend if you want to.
Well, I'm actually trying to get my fireworks set up.
All right.
Right now.
Okay. Well, you have good luck doing that. Have a nice night with that.
Sorry about that.
All right. Stay safe.
It's all right, man.
You're good. And another $1.99. Thank you so much.
We have another $2 donation. What is the chances it hits Florida? In my opinion, right now it's too early to say. Right now, it's too early to tell. Ask me. I'd say at the very earliest, Sunday, Monday around that area, and I'll give you a bit more conclusive opinion. It's just too far out at this current point in time. I mean, it already looks like a tropical storm from Jason Bewley.
Oh, it does. It looks very...
It's a very beefy
good.
one.
Rounded.
It looks very busy because it's pumping thunderstorm. Doing its job.
So, we have our NHC advisory coming out in a little less than an hour now. We will most likely have that.
Depending,
it'll depend. Yeah, what is the Dvorak advanced Dvorak technique? Have they started to show satellite estimates with this yet?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I just saw one. I was gonna tell you all about it, and I forgot it. Sorry, guys. Let me get it here. Dude. Okay, I got it. For O2L no name, now Beryl, 29 at 0Z. Right now, it believes that it is at 9.2 north, 42.6 west, free from goes east, T 2.0, IR, AIR, and SWIR. We finally got remarks. Quote, 4 out of 10 banding results in a DT of 2.5.
Could you please explain to our audience what that means, if you don't mind?
Pretty much. All right. So, basically saying that it has somewhat good banding. It does have banding, and it's somewhat good. It has a DT of 2.5. It means that it is a low tropical storm, 2.5. And what we use in the Dvorak scale, that's actually on the Dvorak scale. It goes from 1.0 to 8.5. And it's pretty much, we look at Dvorak, which is satellite, pretty much, Dvorak satellite estimation, and we look at its features such as banding, whether it has something called a CDO or an I or not. If it has none of those, and we taken all that data and we use We use a sheet or a list that has predetermined things on it, and whatever is the closest with its number, that's what we use. In this case, they looked at it. They looked at their sheet and saw 2.5, and they thought this is the closest that we have, so we're going to put it at a 2.5.
What does that mean
pretty
in
much.
terms of intensity?
In terms of intensity, that means what we're looking at right now, 40 miles an hour
Okay.
with a 2.5, I believe. And I don't know if this also determines pressure or not, but this thing is at 1,006 millibars. I do believe that DT is more of structure than wind-wise.
ADT?
So, no, DT.
Oh, DT, my bad.
Dvorak DT.
Okay.
I believe. So we got 3 separate systems that we're looking at here. Things that we're looking at here: pressure, 1,006 millibars; wind, 40 miles an hour, and then we're looking at the actual structure of the system, which can determine the other two, but also determine how it's going to do in the future, which Dvorak can also do.
Yep. All right.
And what is this? And what is the clue for the future? Is the Dvorak saying, "Hey, it has a good future. It looks nice. It looks amazing."
Yeah, and I haven't actually seen what the 24-hour prediction is from Dvorak yet. I hope to see that soon. It says that a SSMIS pass shows most deep convection in the southwest quadrant. Some east-northeast shear appears to be impacting the system.
Okay.
Upper level outflow good north and west.
That explain that. Well, that's the shear affecting it right there to some extent.
Yep, they're looking. The people who manage Dvorak are looking at east-northeast shear from the east-northeast, and they're saying their shear there, and it's going east-northeast. Put that on there, and it's also saying that they also see upper-level outflow. They can determine that through satellite, and it's saying it's good north and west quadrants and minimal elsewhere. So they can't find it much elsewhere, and no additional positions. DT 2.5 and ADT is going for 34 knots.
All right. Well, that confirms our tropical storm strength right there to some extent. It's another one of the metrics that we're going to be using on the Pat's Path Predictor channel when it comes to videos, potential live streams in the future, as this thing makes a closer approach to the Lesser Antilles. Tristan, what are your thoughts on this?
It's having nice outflow now.
Yep.
Definitely see it now. It's having amazing outflow. All 4 of its quadrants are trying to do a CDO. That's a very beautiful sign. That is basically for a tropical storm, this is heaven.
Pretty much.
So that's a problem for the people. Yeah, that's
it absolutely is. Okay.
So this system is definitely getting its act together. The biggest question is, will it have some thunderstorm collapses? It all depends on that little bit of wind shear in the dry air. And if that doesn't get into it, the only other way to weaken it is landfall, and we don't want that.
We absolutely do not want that.
That's the
that
last
is
thing
telling
we
us
want.
that
I will say that I've heard that shear should decrease majorly by tomorrow. Probably is now, actually.
I would not be
there's a
surprised.
decent amount of shear next to the Leeward Islands. There's a bunch of thunderstorms saying shear. Don't forget.
Yeah, we were just looking at the shear forecast, actually. It had the shear lifting further to the north in the next 24 to 48 hours or so, or at least starting to push further north, and then completing the process by the time the system got to the Antilles.
Let me grab a ship's forecast here.
Yeah, please do. Matter of fact, I want to see what Sims is doing with it. I want to take a look at that.
Ship only has a category 2. Here is the thing, though. And this is going to be the thing that's going to be a little controversial for me to say. I don't trust them.
Okay, I just got a text from a meteorology buddy of mine. This is a post from Weather Underground right here. It's official.
Okay.
Beryl has formed in the Atlantic. The upgrade will appear in the National Hurricane Center bulletin shortly. It'll move towards the Lesser Antilles and arrive probably as a hurricane on Monday. Wind, heavy rain, and surge impacts all are likely. The only question is, how soon will it happen?
All right.
Okay.
If someone, but on an off topic, if someone knows where to get the ship's forecast, can someone send me that in a VC Nomic? Thank you.
Yeah.
I got it on the intensity mod. Please, there's a ship thing that only said.
I think that's good enough. Just send any ship's forecast. I was hoping for its wind shear forecast.
Yeah, I'd like to. I'd like to see that as well.
And real quick, I'm gonna say this. This is gonna be controversial, and I know everyone's gonna be like, "Why are you saying this?" But it's really important for me to say, I don't trust them. I really don't, and there's a reason why.
All right.
And I've said this multiple times. I gotta say it again. Small systems have overperformed models. They have done tracks that models did not predict at time, and they're really hard. They need mesoscale things to forecast sometimes. They can't just always be, you got these free things in the Atlantic, you know what to do. No, there are so many little mesoscale areas of dust, of shear, of mesoscale low pressures.
Yeah, we understand.
It's just these systems are hard. So I would take the models with a grain of salt. But the range I would go with for now, especially with Beryl doing decently, is a high-end Category 1 to a low-end Category 3 with overperformance decently possible. I'll give it a 40% chance because of how these systems are. And the CDO is starting to expand. Its outflow looks amazing so far. But again, the small areas of dust combined with leftover shear can make this struggle. So we will see. But so far, it's doing amazing. It's in heaven right now in terms of condition, at least in the next 12 hours. Yeah. I will say. So I expect maybe 50 miles an hour by tomorrow morning, maybe tomorrow afternoon.
Okay. All right. We have a question before I respond to that and ask for an opinion from both of you. Where are the hurricane hunters flying into this? To be honest, it looks like it could almost be at hurricane status at the moment with it blowing up at convection. We're not quite there just yet. We don't have an eye feature. We don't even have an eye feature on this yet.
Hold on, one at a time.
Okay, hold on.
One at a time.
All right, thank you. The hurricane hunters are going out tomorrow morning. I believe the times were 7:30 Atlantic Standard Time and 8 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time. I'm not sure what the purpose of both of those missions are. This is according to what I am seeing from that National Hurricane Center. I do know for a fact that one of the Hurricane Hunter aircraft is in Puerto Rico right now. It actually was one of the missions that NHC had tagged, well, not NHC, Tropical Tidbits had tagged. It landed in Puerto Rico, landed in San Juan. I believe that's where the base is going to be, either that or somewhere in the Virgin Islands for these National Hurricane Hunter aircraft to just kind of investigate the system. The more we get that information, the better. We'll have to wait and see if this goes deep into it. So, yeah. I am from the
Federation guys, if you look at...
Okay, hold on. What's up? Okay, never mind. Let me ask this.
Was I interrupting?
We are both interrupting each other. You go ahead and make your points first, then I have another question, then I have another question for you.
Pat.
Yep.
Just a thing. Pull up satellite. We are looking to see possibly the beginnings of a convection burst and an overshooting top.
Where at?
Almost dead center, I believe.
Okay, I'm not seeing that too much. I'm guessing it's at the next frame.
No, let me send it to you. What are you using?
I'm using Tropical Tidbits. Oh,
that makes sense. Tropical Tidbits doesn't update much. I'm using AWIPS. It updates every minute.
Yeah, could you send me that? Could you send me the link to that?
Sure. I'll send. It's a program that you have to specifically install, but I'll send it after the thing.
All right.
Look in VC Nomic though. That definitely looks like something that could become a convection burst / overshooting top.
Oh, VC Nomic, we got you. Oh, that's a new feature right there. Yeah, we're starting to see another -80 cloud top burst right there. Yeah. Well, then
actually, it is -80. The black parts are -80. I believe this is -85.
Oh wow.
-90.
Yep, this is definitely recycling, and it's unfortunately not very good for the environment, unlike recycling in real life. I know I have jokes too, but yeah. Sorry, that was a little bad, but anyway, point still stands.
Yeah, here's my
Real quick, I apologize. If you're in northeastern Cass County and southwestern Iowa, if you're in northwestern Fair County and southwestern Iowa, a confirmed tornado is located near Lincoln Medina State Park or 11 miles east of Atlantic. That is coincidence. That is a coincidence for us talking. Moving east at 15 miles an hour. The hazard is a tornado with weather spotters did confirm the tornado.
Okay.
We're not forgetting you in Iowa. If you are in those areas, you need to take shelter now.
All right.
Lowest room, away from windows. Lowest part of your house, your center room with interior walls, bathroom,
Of course.
interior closet.
Yep.
So
We are.
people in Iowa, there is a tornado on the ground by weather.
All right, perfect. We are also, like I said before, we are also monitoring the severe weather threat in the Midwest while we are watching the tropics. Weather's been very active this month, and
I love how the town's name is Atlantic. And
interesting.
we're talking about the Atlantic.
Interesting. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Anita.
But one thing I will say right about now is just that with Beryl going on and organizing. Oh, we're seeing several flare-ups right now on the latest scan from Tropical
CDO.
Tidbits. Yep, that's things starting to organize and develop. But anyway, so yeah, this is the question I have for everyone here. What are your thoughts on this system? I know we asked this about an hour ago, but we already asked the exceeding expectations part of it, but the wind shear, I know there's a little bit of an impact to it. Is it helping the system? Is it a net positive? Is it a net negative for the system right now? What is your take on that?
Hold on.
All right, that's fine. Okay, all right, Tristan. What's your take on it?
I will say the system is doing a fantastic job of just doing its job. It's doing exactly what a tropical storm is.
Okay, we just had a huge jump in viewership. We're up to 150 concurrent viewers now.
Oh, we appreciate everyone being here. Thank you.
Yep, but continue. Sorry.
Yeah, it's very interesting to know how
You're cutting out,
the system
Tristan.
is doing. Oh, well, ouch.
Okay, we'll come back to...
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Yep, we're good. Sorry. Just a little tech issues.
So, someone asked, what's the ceiling? I can't tell you that, because this is a small system.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
They can intensify and get strong really fast, or they could just disappear from the face of the earth. It just depends on how this does. Telling by the way the system is doing so far, though, I think the highest ceiling I could tell you by a decent amount of the models is a low-end category 4. The main area I would like to go between for now is a high-end 1 to a mid-end 3.
Okay, perfect. Yeah,
But
Drew Ferguson,
like
I see that. We are definitely paying attention to that right now. Yeah, with the tornado warning in Atlantic, Iowa, we have Tristan paying attention to that right now. We're going to keep a very close eye on every threat that we have tonight for you right now. We have 145 viewers in chat right now. Be sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are new. It helps us out, helps us get more streams out like these. And the goal of this channel, as always, is to get more people engaged with weather. Okay. Here's the situation.
Give me a second. I am posting.
That's fine. That's fine. That's perfect. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to briefly talk about the wave behind Beryl, since I think this is kind of important, because this could be a 1-2 threat from what I'm seeing with this. And I'm going to briefly spend some time talking about this. This currently has a 40% chance of development. It's moving at about the same speed as Beryl is right now. A tropical wave is located several hundred miles south-southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands. Environmental conditions appear generally conducive. It's moving at 15 to 20 miles per hour, 40% chance of development. A lot of the computer models are analyzing it right now. They are calling for development, although not as strong as Beryl is expected to be. We will still keep an eye on it here on the Pat's Path Predictor channel, as this does pose a threat to a lot of areas in the Lesser Antilles. And my main concern for the second threat right now is flash flooding. The reason I am concerned about the flash flooding threat, and I said this earlier to the audience that was here previously, here's why I'm concerned about it. The flash flooding threat just with Beryl is already relatively high. because you're going to see how much rainfall are we looking at for this. We're looking at, for Barbados, St. Vincent, 4 to 6 inches. Yeah, only 4 to 6 inches of rain. But the point I'm trying to make is that 4 to 6 inches of rain is still going to be a bit of a problem, especially with this next system coming through. And here's why. What that 4 to 6 inches of rain is going to do is it's going to go into the ground and start to saturate it. The next system's coming, 2 to 3 days later? That's not enough time for the ground to completely dry before the next rain cycle comes. And then when that hits, that saturates the ground again, increases the amount of runoff, and causes potential flash flooding, mudslides, landslides, you name it, especially in areas that do not have good roots, that are in the mountainous areas of Barbados.
And the one area
It's a bit less. So you go.
Yeah, Tristan, please go ahead.
And I was going to say, for anybody in Montserrat, also the concern is that this is a small system, so we won't know for sure. Any rapid heavy rains on top of volcanic deposits could equal Lahar.
Yep. All right.
So I'll be very careful.
Perfect. What to expect in Trinidad? Trinidad is the far south island. I believe Tobago is the small island. Trinidad is the larger one. Correct me if I am wrong. I believe that is. I believe
that is correct.
Yep. That definitely is. Trinidad, they could if it gets large enough, they could see the outer bands of it. You're more likely to get something if you're in Tobago. This system's a very small system. Trinidad, keep an eye on it, but overall, outside of the outer bands, surf is going to be your main problem with this. So, if you guys would like to expand upon this further, please go right ahead.
I'll apologize. It should be showing on Google Maps, but Trinidad is located right next to South America.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
Really, unless it gets a much larger, the only real risk in a way is rip currents.
Yep, for the northern part of Trinidad, you are getting 2 to 4 inches of rain, though.
But I don't believe so.
Yeah.
All right.
Might be a dumb question. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Me?
Yeah.
Pull up VC No Mic real quick. We got water vapor. So some people might be thinking that a concern would be dry air because of VSAL. But if you look at water vapor, its moisture situation is only getting better.
Yeah, you see all that convection firing up just a bit east of the Lesser Antilles. That's moistening up the atmosphere. And that's going to allow for a better environment for this thing to flourish, organize, and develop right here. The main concern, Tristan, you had was dry air going into this. I remember talking to you about this morning.
Well, the dry air going in will depend on the shear. Also, here's a picture of the island I'm concerned about. It's in the northern part of the Leeward Islands, but you can tell why I'm a little concerned about Lahars. You can see those scars from eruptions in the past, and especially since this is a tropical environment and the models have been shifting a little bit more to the west. I will watch that area for Lahars.
Yep.
I don't know if you can share it on stream, but that's what I mean by the volcanic area being a problem in this situation.
You're right. Okay.
Very heavy rain.
All right. I have another question. Might be a dumb question. Hey, there is no dumb questions here on the Pat's Path Predictor channel or in Storms United. We always like to learn new things.
The dumbest question is the one you never ask.
Exactly. That's the life lesson right there. But let's get right into it. Why is the standard models weakening this storm so much when it gets near Jamaica? Is there some wind shear in the area? Most likely.
Yes.
Yep. Most likely.
Either that or just because in the Central Caribbean in the early part of the year, they call it the Caribbean graveyard term.
Yep. It's because of a combination of shear and dry air.
Even though with the way that the waters are and how good the system looks, I'm not so convinced. I'm kind of halfway thinking it might, but it might not.
I can't spell. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I'm looking at GFS here.
Oh, okay. My apologies. Let's talk about Grenada then. Yeah, Grenada is definitely in the line of fire for this. Right now, if the models hold, it looks like it's going to be making a close pass or landfall to St. Vincent. Grenada is the big island just to the south of it. So overall, we can go ahead and pull up the situation that we have right here. Grenada, about 2 to 4 inches of rain. Definitely could get some tropical storm force winds at this current point in time. It's really going to depend on if this thing grows in size as it develops, or if maybe something happens to it where that is the case, like maybe an IWL replacement cycle, if it explosively intensifies. We're not even considering that possibility just yet right there, but that's definitely a potential risk that we are looking at right now. If you guys want to go ahead and add on,
Also,
go right
what's
ahead.
interesting is that even though the system will likely be a bit more to the south, they do have Montserrat and 1 to 2 inches of rain for the system.
All right, perfect. Okay, we have.
So for the question of why models are weakening it while it goes through Jamaica, the reason looks like it's a 1-2 punch here. I'm looking at GFS. The convective activity on the GFS, when it goes near Haiti, it looks like it's getting absolutely sheared. And pick that with making landfall on Haiti, not a very mountainous region of Haiti, but still making landfall definitely does not help. So that's a 1-2 punch right there.
We
And
just
even
got
after
donated
it goes, it looks like it's still getting
$100.
sheared. Wait, what?
Yeah. Wow.
Thank you.
That's unbelievable.
That's insane.
Jason Bewley coming in clutch.
Yo, Jason, we're gonna throw your party after this, man.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay.
So let's see, can't answer. What was your question? GHW movie.
It was this chat right here to the north. I thought people thought I was scamming or something like that. Anyway, wow, that is unbelievable tonight. $100 donation. Okay, I'm gonna compose myself right there. I'm gonna try not to cry tears of joy because this is ecstatic right there. Thank you so much.
I think he needs an emotional support clown.
Yeah. Okay. Please continue your point. I am very sorry I interrupted you.
I was done with my point anyways, and it was a good thing to interrupt on. That's amazing.
Yeah. The Pat's Path Predictor channel is going to new heights, ladies and gentlemen.
Why is weather unpredictable? We don't know everything about the Earth's atmosphere, and that's what
we don't. The thing is about weather, one, we don't know a lot, and two, there's just so many things in weather that we already do know about that it's very hard to actually forecast all of this. If one thing's good, another thing's probably bad. And a lot of the things that we figure out in weather have to align almost exactly.
Yeah.
It's that if one small change happens in weather, either the forecast majorly changes, or that it's just not going to happen. Or if it's not going to happen and something changes,
hold on. Let Yoshi finish.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
It's that for two main reasons. There's a lot of things in weather, and weather is very, very, very reactive. All right.
Yep.
A very perfect example of this was the high risk in Oklahoma this year. That was an amazing example where it looked really good. And a better example would be the marginal and slight risks in Oklahoma that have made wedge tornadoes.
Yep. Exactly.
Because you know what's interesting about the Oklahoma situation with tornadoes? All of those were at angles of the MCS complexes in Kansas and Missouri.
Yeah.
Which might have changed the capping inversion situation. And that's the thing about weather. We think Oklahoma has more of a cap. It's not going to do anything all the time. And that's the amazing thing of the mesoscale. There was one time in Oklahoma, there was such a large cap, and we didn't think nothing was going to happen in the MCS. And then in New Mexico, northern Texas, a very small mesoscale low may form, and then suddenly, you got supercells forming in western Oklahoma. Weather is a very interesting thing.
Yep.
And you know what a perfect example of weather would be?
What is
The
it?
perfect example of weather would be the German military playing war games to try to figure something out, but they
Ha
don't know
ha
the
ha
outcome
ha
of a
ha.
battle.
Ha ha ha. Okay.
That is a perfect example.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So, okay.
Oh, thank you for the $50, Daniel.
What?
We appreciate
No
it.
way, we're getting like large sums tonight, boys.
That is unbelievable. Okay, I'm going to compose
The
myself
50.
real quickly. Thank you for the donations,
Got it.
everybody. I am very
insane.
humbled
Thank
and I'm
you.
very grateful that you guys are giving me a chance to do this. I've been doing this for 3 years and I've never gotten so much support from this. What would really make my night tonight is right now we are 33 subscribers away from 8,000. Please subscribe and get me to 8,000 subs tonight.
Wait, hold on. What's my
If you
channel
could
name?
do
I don't
that-
think I'm subscribed
Yeah,
yet.
if you could, it's Pat's Path Predictor. If you could do that for me tonight, I would be eternally grateful. And I will definitely continue this coverage because this is something I love to do. Now, if you guys could do that for me, thank you.
So how many subscribers are we
Right.
away from 8,000 again?
We are now at 32 subs away.
Well, let's make that 31. It's now 31.
Thank you. Make that 30. We're getting subscribers. I really appreciate all the support you guys have given to me tonight. Another $1.99 from Jason. Jason Bewley. Thank you. Okay, but yeah, with that, all that being said, I need to get back to reporting the weather because this is why I am here. I appreciate all the love and support you guys have given me tonight. I went into this night thinking I want to get people engaged with weather. And
Ooh, I'm sorry, but I just noticed something about Invest 94L.
What's up?
I know that the thunderstorms are not great, but the spin.
I'm gonna go ahead and take a
I
look at
wonder
that very
what's going to
quickly.
happen when it gets to the Bay of Campeche.
Oh, that spin is incredible.
Yeah,
I'm going to go ahead and zoom out on
this.
this. I'm going to go ahead and do another satellite imagery. I'm going to go to, not the Gulf, Western Atlantic.
My biggest concern, real quick, for Invest 94L is not its strength, it's the rainfall, because they had that gyre system that failed to form, and they had Alberto. So they've been having a lot of heavy rainfall recently. So flooding is my main concern for that.
Okay. All right. John,
now
thank you very much.
Now I have chat on.
Yeah. John,
now I have a...
Yeah, John, thanks for the $5. Yeah, thank you very much for that, Tristan, tonight. I'm noticing it too. That spin is good. If the convection can fire up more towards the center of circulation, and then it enters the Bay of Campeche, it's going to be a very interesting situation. I think that's why the NHC increased the chances tonight, because they saw that spin.
And not only that, but all the models want at least 40 to 45 mile an hour. So they wanted to try to get a name.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not only, I think we're going to get maybe 2 to 3 names. We also have the tropical wave in the Eastern Atlantic. I'm kind of iffy with this system near Mexico, just because, you know, these systems don't have a lot of time in some ways. But I think we're definitely going to get one more from that wave one.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much for that. We are now 20 subscribers away from 8,000 tonight. So if you guys haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. And also like the stream as well. We would really appreciate that as well. We have 150 people in chat right now. Please be sure to like the stream and subscribe to the channel right now. But anyway, at the same time, I need to. There's been a lot going on tonight, both good, interesting, and a little bad and a little ugly. So let's go ahead.
A little bad and ugly only because of the situation with TD.
With what?
With TD2.
Yep. Yeah, it definitely is.
And real quick in the chat, everybody, there will be another post with another tornado warning. So I will.
Activation requested tornado warning for Kansas City, Pleasant Hill. Let me pull that up on Quad Radar real quick, and I'll give you all a screenshot about it.
Okay.
If I can find it.
That's fine. I'll just keep an eye on the tropics. I'll talk a little bit about what's going on because we're getting a lot of new viewers in right now. So here's the situation just for an overview. It is about 9:25 my time, 10:25 Atlantic Standard Time. Beryl, outside of the NHC, is official. They're going to come out with something in the next, I'd say, 30 minutes or so, officially capping off what we're looking at tonight with this tropical cyclone. Dvorak estimates.
Real quick, just for people in the chat, I apologize, Pat. I'm finished putting it in. Here's the tornado warning in the pit for that location. If you are in those areas, make sure you take the precautions. There's the latest information at this time from the National Weather Service in Kansas City.
All right. Brilliant. Okay. So, as I was saying, we are watching Beryl right now. 94L definitely looks like it's a little bit better than expected right now. Looking at Dvorak estimates as of right now, things are getting pretty interesting. We're at about 40 miles per hour. Tropical Tidbits has named it Beryl, as you can see right there. You have several computer models calling for this thing to be a really big hurricane as it approaches the Lesser Antilles. That is why we are streaming tonight, just to give you an overview and an analysis of what we may be seeing. What's up?
I was just saying, there's a Pat, isn't there free storms out there? Yes, there is.
Very much.
Two of them aren't developed. One of them is. The main one we're looking at, O2L, is the developed one. If you can pull up NHC website again, that'll update very soon, by the way. 7 day, we're looking at mainly Tropical Depression 2 with now Tropical Storm Beryl.
Yep.
We have a 4040 out here, which is Invest 94L, going for the Yucatan Peninsula and then crashing into Mexico, possibly as a tropical system.
There's
a good chance of that. And another system which we will very definitely be looking at over the next few days on his channel, and I'll be looking at it. This 040 disturbance number 2. This will be also a thing that we are looking out for, as that is going to be possibly being round 2 for the Lesser Antilles.
Yep, definitely with this area of interest right there that is behind Beryl right now.
Right.
We were
we got from the Bryants. Will it affect St. Kitts and Nevis? Let me check St. Kitts and Nevis.
I think that's in the Leeward Islands. I could be wrong. Let me take a look.
I'm seeing that is super north of what we're looking at. Possibly, I'm going to say this. Don't go out in the beach over the next few days.
No.
We will possibly see some rip currents, as Puertorico, like I stated earlier. St. Kitts and Nevis will probably get increased moisture and rip currents. We can't say a lot about St. Kitts and Nevis right now, but with the available forecast we do have, it doesn't look like we're going to have much. And all right, Paul Colati says, and will it hit Florida? Paul, I'm going to say this. It's very early to say, but if we absolutely had to say something, I'm personally going to say probably not. But this is very hard to forecast, and that is super far out, so we really cannot tell.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. T-Volt's just messaging me. Change the name to TS Beryl Forms from TD2. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me.
I saw it live.
Yeah. Yeah, we changed it to TS Beryl Forums because, well, that's why we are here tonight, because there is a very big situation going on. We have almost 180 people in chat right now. That is unbelievable. It's 10:30 Atlantic Standard Time, and people are tuning in to the Pat's Path Predictor channel. Be sure to like the stream.
It's 10:28 Eastern Standard Time.
Yep.
You got it all.
Atlantic Standard Time is what the Caribbean and the Antilles go off of. Okay.
Yeah, it's a 9:30. What do we? No, it's 11:30 there.
Yeah.
11:30.
No, it's
it's
not. Atlantic Standard. Okay.
Atlantic Standard Time is the one that Nova Scotia and a lot of the Caribbean rely on.
Yes.
Florida and the East Coast rely on Eastern Standard Time, which right now, as of EST, it is 10:29.
It's 10:30, basically.
Yeah, basically. And sorry, I wanted to get to this as fast as possible. We got another question from chat. MR Manj has asked, what impacts to Tobago, tropical storm or hurricane impacts? Tobago is pretty far out from the landfall spot that we're looking at. I'm going to say the same thing I said for Puerto Rico and St. Kitts and Nevis. Trinidad and Tobago are more than likely going to see rip currents and increased moisture, maybe rain out of that increased moisture, but probably not a lot more than that. I can't say for much. I haven't checked forecasts fully, but that, from what I know, Trinidad and Tobago won't get much. Just don't go out on the beach in the next couple days and expect increased rain chances.
Yep, that's what we're looking. I'm also taking a look at satellite right now. I'm going to try and refresh this to get the best format here. We're starting to see, I want Yoshi and Tristan, I want you to take a look at this right now. I want you to take a look at the latest satellite right now. We're starting to see some more flare-ups.
We do have more questions for us. Is it all right if I answer those first?
Go right ahead. Go ahead. I'm just.
Go ahead.
All right. Alnich said, should Grenada be worried? Grenada is just north of Trinidad and Tobago, but I will say you guys are slightly more likely of getting something. I personally am going to pull up the National Hurricane Center wind forecast.
We have 227 concurrent viewers right now.
All right, so for Trinidad and Tobago, you guys are in 10, 20, and 30% chances for tropical storm force winds. And for Grenada, you guys are in, I believe that is 50 to 60% chances right now. So both of you actually should be expecting tropical storm force winds, especially you, Grenada, out of the two. And we got another question here that says, is Jamaica in the path of this storm?
Yes.
I wouldn't say it's too far out, but according to the NHC and from me personally, and I bet from everyone at the server, I will collectively say for everyone in the server, yes, Jamaica is in the path, and I will say you guys should be getting ready. You guys are in the cone, and a lot of models are saying you guys will be getting hit. Now again, this forecast can certainly change, but that's what we're looking at right now. Jamaica impact is what is most likely according to our forecasts right now. So if you personally are in Jamaica, I want you to get ready, all right?
Yep.
Get ready for a hurricane.
Yep, prepare for the worst, pray for the best. That's the best thing you can do right now.
Right, we got another question.
Yep.
Johan G, anything for Central America, watching from Belize. I'm going to say things for Belize. It's too far out. We don't know whether this thing will recurve towards the United States, go to the Yucatan, or hit Belize, or possibly Nicaragua. I will say that for Belize, some longer range forecasts are saying it could hit the Yucatan, Belize, and even Honduras. So I will say, I wouldn't exactly say get ready, but don't be too surprised. And we got, what about, yeah, just watch it. Barbados?
Don't panic, just know what to do just in case it happens.
We got a question for Barbados here. I will say Barbados should be 100% be getting ready.
Yep.
Models I've looked at and the NHC cone are saying that you guys more than likely will be getting tropical storm winds and possibly hurricane winds. I wouldn't say that for 100% certainty, but there is definitely a good chance that you guys will get hurricane winds. So if you are in Barbados, get ready pretty quick too. This thing will probably be here in 2 or 3 days. So, all right. What about St. Lucia? I'm going to say, all right.
Quick. I want to say it's about all the Caribbean islands. If you are in all the Caribbean islands, just pay attention, get ready, make sure you're prepared, hope for the best, and prepare for the worst.
Exactly.
And again, I know I keep mentioning this island. If you are on Montserrat, make sure you know your safest location for lahars. Again, I know I keep pointing this out, but heavy rainfall can do lahar problems, especially years after a volcanic eruption in a tropical zone. If you are near any normal mountains, and the leewards are technically volcanic islands in a way, because a lot of them are either dormant or 2 of them are active. Yep. So, just in case your soils or if there's any leftover ash deposits, look out for mudslides, look out for flash flooding, especially on Montserrat. depending on the system, you have a chance of lahars. The perfect example of that was Mount Pinatubo in 1991.
Yep.
After all the ash flow and stuff, there were scars that created very good pathways for lahars to damage communities. So, especially around Montserrat, be careful of not only the potential heavy rainfall and flash flooding, depending on the track, but also maybe a lahar or two, depending. And then for the rest of the islands, especially some mudslides, flash flooding, ripport currents, and storm surge, depending on how large this is, and depending on how strong this is. Heavy rainfall is not going to be the biggest issue with the speed, and since this system is slow right now, but I would be careful of flash flooding. When the next system comes in, however, that tropical wave behind, depending on what it does, flash flooding will be a little bit more of a problem depending on the track of that system.
Yep.
Everybody in the Leeward Islands just needs to watch that.
Absolutely.
Anywhere from Montserrat
Oh,
all the way to the
definitely.
south, and even maybe Puerto Rico, I would say watch it just in case. The Bermuda High may help it go a little bit more to the northwest than forecasted, especially with the wobble.
I'm just going to make a 1 or a 2 sentence thing here so people absolutely know. If in the entirety of the Caribbean, all right, if you are in the Caribbean up to Belize or the Yucatan, from in the Caribbean and in Central America, I would say look at it. Don't prepare yet unless if the forecasts start to show you getting hit. But if you're anywhere in the Caribbean, don't prepare.
If you're anywhere
I
in the
wouldn't say
Caribbean,
don't
prepare
prepare.
for the
You should
worst
already
and pray
be
for the
prepared. I'm
best.
going to be
Yeah.
honest. But look at it, watch it, and if you're in the Lesser Antilles, please get ready.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Also, St. Vincent needs to watch for lahars. Did y'all have a recent active volcano? Because Montserrat's the only one I know of that was
I might.
in the last 40 years.
Yeah.
With the
Yeah,
volcano's
I'm
name
going to take a
is.
look soon.
Please take a look at that. I want to make sure.
Yeah,
that
someone
name
take a
is
look at that. Jermaine said it's now a tropical storm. Yes, it is.
Very
according
much.
to ATCF, according to Dvorak, 2 things that are very much official. Just the NHC hasn't updated on that yet. St. Vincent erupted in 2021, I think.
Yep. I remember that.
To answer the question about lahars in St. Vincent, y'all do not have the scars of ash and pyroclastic flow deposit. I don't think. I would like some confirmation on that, but
Yeah.
I know from what I've seen so far, y'all have been more okay. If I'm wrong, please correct me.
All right.
Please let me know.
Okay, we have almost 200 people in chat right now. Remember to like the stream, subscribe to the channel. We are 16 subscribers away from 8,000, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can get that done tonight. It's been a very good night for the stream here on the Pat's Path channel. We have a lot of people who are ecstatic, getting engaged with weather. It's been an absolutely incredible night here for Storms United at this current point in time. Eric John asks, should I cancel my Cancun trip July 4th to the 8th? Prayers for the people in the West Indies. Watch the forecasts. It's too early.
It's too early, but I would definitely watch the second tropical wave behind DD2 for your plans. And we're not going to say, hey, cancel your trip, don't have a fun time. Just know what to do if the second system behind ends up going to the Caribbean. But so far, we don't even know what the track of that thing is. We just know that it might go to the leeward.
Yep. And
Just
as
be,
of right
ready.
now, we
And
are...
someone's
Sorry,
spamming with
go ahead. My bad.
classic.
Go ahead. Is that
No, I
it?
was saying someone's spamming in chat, which is a classic.
Okay. All right. What I will...
ask a very good question. What about ocean heat content?
Oh, yeah,
I'll let
we
you
need to
explain
answer
Go ahead.
that.
Yeah, go ahead.
We need to answer that. Yeah. Let me go ahead and pull up the map right now. The OHC...
Right, someone said... all right, we got more questions.
Hold on, we're answering one right now. We're answering one right now about ocean heat content.
Awesome.
Where we are right now is about 50 to 60 OHC. That's pretty good for not graduate, but good conducive development intensification. Where this is going to be entering in the next 24 hours is an area of about 100 OHC, which is conducive for rapid intensification. Then after that, as it approaches the Antilles, we are getting even higher than that, around 125 isolated 150 OHC. That is an insane amount of OHC across much of the Caribbean, across much of the Antilles, across much of the main development region. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and do a comparison very quickly. I do this on my videos all the time, but we're going to go ahead and go back to June 2023 and June 2020, just to show some comparison. The reason I am doing
if we
this,
are gonna do this, I'd recommend trying to do it fast.
No, I'm doing it fast. I'm doing it fast. Just give me 3 seconds, okay?
Okay, good.
This is where we were at
good.
on June 28th. We were
gotta
at
prepare for
a max of
Anyways,
about
yes,
75 to 100 OHC across the region. Where we were at 2020. Let's go ahead and pull that up right now. Let's go ahead and do June 28th. All right.
Real quick, I'm trying to get confirmation for St. Vincent because
Unfortunately, they did not have that for June 28th. We'll go ahead and use the 27th.
Yeah, there are apparent confirmed potential some ash and fire cluster stars with the shape of the volcano.
All right.
Also.
In the
So
meantime,
Vincent,
Tristan. All right.
I'm sorry.
I want to get this done quickly. I'm sorry if I'm talking over everybody right now, but we're trying to get through this because we have an NHC advisory coming out very soon. 2020, we were cracking 50 OHC in isolated spots. 2023, 75 to 100. Right now, as of June 28th, 2024, let me go ahead and go back on that. Here it is. 125 isolated 150. That's what we're looking at right now.
I'm sorry to interrupt. When someone said, yeah, we got Tropical Storm Beryl on here. I'm waiting for the graphics to update, but on the official NHC
I'm
site,
looking for it.
It does say TS Beryl now.
Okay, wait, is it on the map or is it at the public advisory?
It's
public
not
advisory.
on the map yet.
Right now.
I am not seeing
but we are posting
just
right
yet.
now, yeah.
It's not on my computer just yet. We do have the Tropical Storm Beryl as of right now. Things are getting very interesting, folks. Things are going to get very interesting. Yep, Tristan is posting it right now. Yep, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a crazy week or so. It's going to be an insane week on the Pat's Path Predictor channel, and we will be covering everything. So if you want to stay tuned for the rest of this, be sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel. We are 11 away from 8,000. Let's see if we can get that done tonight. And then we are going to go ahead and read out the public advisory to kind of get neatly wrap this up in a nice little bow. So,
everything is
out on the map.
The cone. Actually, it might be the full one beside.
Hold on, time out. Let me look at it.
I wanna figure it out on my own. Hold on.
It's not showing up on my computer just yet.
I got Tropical Storm Beryl on here, not the cone, but I got it. I got it on the map.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it. It's not showing up on my computer just yet, unfortunately. It's not on the map.
The discussions right now,
we got it. Never mind. Never mind. We got Tropical Storm Beryl. We got it. We just don't have the public advisory just yet. Yeah. With forecast.
Put it on the map.
Oh, here's the discussion. All right. They're holding at 105 miles per hour at 72 and 96 hours. They're at 40, expecting it to go to 45 at 12 hours, 60 and 24. It's going to be pretty gradual strengthening according to the NHC. That's going to be interesting right there. That's going to be very interesting to take a look at.
They're doing two 105s now. I'm pretty sure it was like 100, 105. Let me get okay. All right, so let me read out the entire advisory.
Okay, hold on. Let me read this out very quickly.
Yeah, sure.
All right. We have maximum sustained winds of 40 miles per hour, moving west at 18 miles per hour. Minimum central pressure 1,006. At 11 p.m., it was located at 9.3 degrees north, 43.6 degrees west. Tropical storm force winds extend outwards 45 miles from the center. This is a very small tropical cyclone right now. Now, granted, 45 miles for a 40 mile per hour tropical storm is about average right now. Question is are those winds going to expand or are they going to stay the same? If they stay the same, that's going to be a very volatile forecasting period for the next 48 hours. If they expand a bit, maybe about 70 miles away from the center, that gives us an easier time. Just giving you some context right here. So, hazards affecting land, we got a heavy rainfall, we have potential surf, we have potential storm surge. Is there hurricane watches and warnings out just yet?
Not yet.
No,
Okay.
not yet. Surprisingly.
That is a bit surprising. The cone has not updated for me just yet. I'm gonna check tropical tidbits.
Hold on. Go to No Mike VC. I have it.
Okay, well we got it right here. Let's go ahead and see it.
It looks like a brief period in between.
No, that's the 5 p.m.
strengthening
track.
phase.
We're waiting for the 11 p.m.
Oh wait, no, I don't have it. Then I didn't look at the time.
Yeah, it's okay. That's gonna
I
be
will say
interesting.
that it looks like there's a very brief window of 115 between 105.
Really?
So far, yeah, because sometimes what I like to do in these circumstances here is if there's like, let's say that a storm, I'll give you a decent example. Let's say if it said is 150 and then another area said 150.
Yeah.
Depending on the conditions, you could say that it could go to a brief 155 in between and then go back to 150.
Yep.
That's what I'm thinking is happening here is that they are teasing at even though it doesn't say major, they're teasing at 110 or a very small period of 115 so far.
Okay. Hey.
They're teasing,
right.
especially with the wording of the advisory and the discussion I'm seeing, especially when they're saying the models are quite aggressive. I would say they are teasing at maybe 115 soon if Beryl can get forward. They're teasing.
Exactly. Okay. All right. So the big takeaways right now, this is now officially a tropical storm according to the National Hurricane Center. We are still waiting for a cone right now. We have a forecast advisory. We have a discussion. That's the key stuff that we're potentially looking at. Oh, this is interesting right here. This is interesting. They just put this out, last sentence of the discussion right here. I'm going to read the whole paragraph for context. But atmospheric and oceanic conditions, atypical for this time of year, are fairly favorable for strengthening the next few days with warm sea surface temperatures, plenty of moisture, and low vertical wind shear. And we're seeing that moisture increase by the hour with that convection east of the Antilles. Thus, the NHC intensity forecast calls for steady strengthening and shows the system becoming a hurricane before it reaches the Windward Islands. The NHC's intensity forecast is very similar to the previous advisory. It should be noted that some of the model guidance is still quite aggressive, and a fair amount are even higher than the official forecast. I mean, that's to be expected right now. But this is interesting right here, and I want your guys' take on this. Some hurricane regional models and consensus aids show the system becoming a major hurricane prior to reaching the Windward Islands. Thoughts?
Right.
The way it's performing right now, I'm not. And I actually expect a low end major at least. They teased at 105 too. If you look carefully,
That's insane. That is bonkers, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
I'm not betting money on it. I'm not betting money on that.
not betting money, but they're definitely.
That's unlikely. I'm gonna be completely honest, but I'm not betting money on this film.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. We have over 200 people in chat right now. Like the stream, subscribe to the channel. We are 8 away from 8,000 subscribers for those of you tuning in. Also ask a lot of questions in the chat. We're going to mainly spend the next little while answering some questions from you guys, so that way we have an idea, we can give you as much information as we can. We're still waiting on a cone from the National Hurricane Center. We're going to have to pay attention to that as it comes out. But in the meantime, things are going to be pretty interesting down the road. We now are expecting tropical storm and hurricane warnings at 5 a.m. this morning. So,
Watches.
Yeah.
You said warnings.
Oh, sorry. Warnings. Watches. My apologies.
It's me all mistakes. Fine.
It's like, wait a minute.
I've been streaming for 2.5 hours now. I think a mishap once in a while can be okay.
Hey, that's your first time doing it, so I mean, hey.
Bro, I've been streaming.
This is looking a new convection.
Yeah, that's what I was going to tell you guys, too. We have more convection firing up near the center of circulation, this time towards the eastern part of it. Is it going to build off of it and allow for a tighter circulation? Only time will tell. We will keep you updated on it.
Someone asked, can we show the models of what they're thinking about?
Yes, absolutely.
Trust the intensity model since it is a small system, but the
I am gonna say the 12Z model suite 12Z. Wow. Even I'm starting to make mistakes. Pardon me, lads. 0Z is going to come out very soon.
Yeah, it probably won't come out for another hour or so, from what I've seen. I hope it comes out soon. I'm probably going to stay on the stream if it's going to be that close. But things are going to get pretty interesting. Okay, let's see if we have questions. Yeah, we have hurricane models, all that stuff. The graphics are out, apparently, according to someone in chat. Let's go ahead.
They are.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Jamaica.
Jamaica's right in the middle, smack of
Bermuda
that.
High influence, like I was talking about.
Yeah, it looks like it pushed a little bit further to the south in the long term. Short term, absolutely nothing has changed. And we are now expecting a hurricane by 8 p.m. Sunday, according to this, although I fully expect this to be quicker.
That's good news for Montserrat, at least. I will say for that island that got scars, that's good news. That's not very good for St. Vincent, though, who has scars from a volcanic eruption. I think back in 2021, I believe. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you are in St. Vincent and you can highlight areas of pyroclastic flow and ash material,
okay,
just be ready to evacuate if landslides such lahars end up being a very big problem.
Yeah, the reason we are mentioning lahars is because we know there were pyroclastic surges that happened in the area, and there's still a lot of loose deposits left. And essentially, if you add rain to that, it creates a massive amount of lahars and a massive amount of mud flows. They can be very fast. I've seen some of them surge as fast as, I think, 40, 50 miles per hour. You can't outrun it.
50 miles an hour. And a big example of what lahars can do is back in 1985 at Nevada del Ruiz.
Oh, yeah.
That lahar was
that infamous case.
Horrible.
Infamous case. Yep. We'll have to pay attention to that. We can talk more about volcanoes later down the road. But anyway, Yoshi, you were talking about model runs and all that stuff. What are you? What model runs should we What model runs should we present to the audience?
I am going to say we should look at multiple models for clear context.
Oh, of course we are. We are.
Just not one model. I believe we can't just show one model to the audience because
of course not.
One model shows one thing. One model, we have to present full context.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do anyway. I was just asking you what model runs of each model
should we do first.
The latest.
Because what I'm gonna do is show the HMON, then the halves models, then the GFS, then the HWRF. That's what I have. That's what I have.
Do you mean available. Like parameters? I'm gonna say if you want the most amount of data for each thing, I would say use 10-meter wind.
All right.
That's interesting.
That's okay. All right. So what we'll do is we'll use the latest model runs, which is the 18Z, and we'll give you a forecast of what we're potentially going to be looking at. So we're gonna go ahead and kind of quickly, but not as quickly, because we want to take a look at some of this, investigate some of this, because I know we have a lot of new viewers tuned in. So here's what we have with the HMON. This system is organizing and developing. We're at 4 a.m. on the 4 a.m. This morning. This is a 993 millibar system according to the HMON. I'm going to be honest with you. We're most likely not going to see that much of a drop unless we see a situation where we're 1,006 now. If we take that by 6 hours, unless we see a constant drop of 2 1/6 millibars per hour. I don't see that happening. That's considered explosive intensification, although it would have to take 24 hours for that to happen. But anyway, that's besides the point.
I think it just had a pretty bad initialization.
The initialization point was 1,008 at 1 p.m. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking, honestly.
It was about 1,007 at that time, so
yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah, we can either way. I'm looking at this right now. This 992 stabilizes in pressure, starts to intensify pretty quickly, organizes and develops as it gets closer to the Caribbean, closer to the Antilles. We're already 54 hours out, which is 7 p.m. my time, 8 p.m. Eastern time on June 30th. 968 millibars, Category 2 hurricane right now. Then massive jump in wind speeds, Category 3 hurricane as it approaches the Lesser Antilles. The HMON wants this thing to be a high-end Category 3 hurricane, pass just south of Barbados, evading the hurricane force winds, either makes landfall or a very close pass to St. Vincent as a 957 millibar Category 4 hurricane. That's going to be interesting right there. Granted, I do not think it's going to be a Cat 4, mainly because A, the pressure is too high on this run right here, and B, just there's nothing, and B, outside of the H-Wharf, there's really not much to support that, at least in the conditions you have. We might see rapid intensification, but overall, I'm not trusting this right now. Then this moves into the Caribbean Sea, able to sustain itself as it approaches the Dominican Republic and Haiti, according to the 18Z, then makes landfall in Jamaica as a Category 3 hurricane. This is too far out to verify. Take this with a massive grain of salt. We're going to keep you updated, but this is too far out to verify. So I know a lot of people from Jamaica are here. Do not panic over this. Take this with a grain of salt. Models are subject to change. We will keep you updated here. Next model we're going to go ahead and show you is the Halves A run with Beryl right here. Just to kind of give you what we're doing right here. Halves A is a bit more realistic with the initialization. Has it at 1,000 millibars at 1 a.m., but I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's going to get that low. It's going to stay around 1,000 millibars right there and right then. Okay, I'm just doing that. Okay, am I back on VC?
Yes.
Okay. Well, regardless, I'm sure.
Did the DM get you?
Okay. Thank you very much. All right. Okay. All right. With that being said, okay, my bad, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a blooper.
Yep. All right. Thanks for the heads up. Let's continue with the forecast. We were going over the HMON. It had a Cat 3 making landfall in Jamaica. I said it's too far to verify. Take it with a grain of salt. That's the generalization of it, right there. Anyway, here's what we have with the Halves A right here. Let's go out to 48 hours out. Gets up to Category 1 strength as it approaches the Caribbean. Has it around high-end Cat 1, low-end Category 2 as it passes through the Windward Islands in south of St. Vincent, north of Grenada over here. As a high-end Category 1 hurricane. Pressure of 971 millibars as it gets to Category 2 strength, and is able to sustain itself as it approaches the Greater Antilles and Jamaica over here. Has it either making landfall or making a very close pass to Jamaica as a Cat 1. Take it with a grain of salt. Too far out to verify. Let's go ahead and next show you the Halves B over here. Halves B is what we have going on. Organizing and developing it right here. It's a pretty aggressive model in general right here. 992 millibars by 1 p.m. tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see when it comes to that. And then it really ramps up 979 millibar Category 2 hurricane. Then it gets up to a major hurricane as it approaches Barbados, makes definitely a close pass to that as bringing hurricane force winds over there. Halves B wants a Cat 4 to make a very close pass to St. Vincent. Take it with a grain of salt. Models are subject to change. We don't know if that's going to happen or not, but still prepare. But still prepare regardless. We are having this thing organizing and developing, and then moving into the Caribbean Sea where it sustains itself, moves very close to the Dominican Republic and Haiti. The hurricane force winds do actually encroach on Haiti right there, and then it moves north of Jamaica 5 days out from now. That's the Halves B. Let's go ahead and show you the GFS right here. This is the 18Z GFS that we have pulled up for you right here. GFS has this thing organizing and developing quickly. 48 hours out, it's already a Category 1 hurricane. Then it makes a close pass by Barbados as a Cat 2, close pass by St. Vincent as a Category 2 hurricane. Then it moves through the Caribbean Sea, sustains itself, moves south of the Dominican Republic, makes landfall in Haiti, then makes landfall in Cuba, and just kind of disorganizes and meanders itself right there. The NHC has the track further south of that, mainly due to the Bermuda High that is, well, in this case, the Azores High, that is incredibly strong and is expected to remain incredibly strong for the next little while. So that's what we have with the GFS. Let's go ahead and next show you the HWRF model right here. So here's the HWRF that we have pulled up. Organizing and developing right here. Strengthens at a gradual pace at first, then it starts to intensify, gets up to hurricane strength in the next 30 hours. And then it starts to ramp up in intensity at this current point, makes a close pass to Barbados as a Category 2 hurricane, then it potentially makes landfall at St. Vincent as a Cat 2, moves into the Caribbean, kind of just organizes, develops, becomes a Category 3 hurricane as it moves south of the Dominican Republic, Category 4 possibly. Again, that's going to depend on the wind shear and the dry air in the Caribbean Sea. So overall, those are our models that we have going on for tonight. A lot of them are very aggressive, and we will continue to keep you updated on that. But we have still a lot of people in chat right now.
Okay.
We are 2 subscribers away from 8,000. Be sure to like the stream and subscribe to the channel if you are new. It helps us out, helps us get more people engaged with weather. We are 2 subs away from 8,000. Ladies and gentlemen.
I got some really bad news for St. Vincent.
What's up?
I did the very latest data. There were recent eruptions in 2021 telling me that the ash and pyroclastic flow deposits are
We just passed
than-
8,000.
Oh yeah, Lahar.
That's true.
I just did a lot of data and research on the volcanic website, Scrodos 2. It's a lot more looser than I thought. So yes, Lahars are a huge threat wherever this hit St. Vincent, or if Rain Bands hit Montserrat.
Hey, Pat.
So
What's up?
That's even more
Hold on.
concerning.
Go ahead, Tristan.
That's even more concerning because I thought it was the 1990 eruption, which was one of its biggest. But there are recent eruptions as recent as 2021 in April.
All right.
So Lahars are definitely a concern.
Okay. What's up, Sebastian?
Sorry I had to leave, but did you mention how, like, the NHC in the discussion mentions the possibility of it becoming a major hurricane?
Yep, we covered it.
before
We covered it.
Okay. Also, this probably won't happen, but the ECMWF shifted way north, so
What did?
it becomes the ECMWF shifted way north, so that kind of makes it a little more of an American threat, but I'm not saying it's going to happen.
It's too early out to determine if it's an American threat or not right now. Matter of fact, I'm going to see what the European is doing with Beryl right now, just for craps and giggles.
I think they posted something in the
This thing has it moving through the Caribbean, Yucatan, and then entering Mexico. Take it with a grain of salt. All the guidance has this thing through the Caribbean 5 days out. We'll pay attention to it.
Yes. Well, hope the stream was good.
Yeah,
the stream's doing fantastic. Speaking of which, I got some information on a decent severe thunderstorm warning in Kansas chat. If anyone lives in the counties, where 70-mile-per-hour winds by emergency management confirmed.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with Beryl right now tonight. We will take questions in the chat now. If you have, just so we can get people engaged with weather. Remember to like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are new. It really helps us out. But in the meantime, we will take questions in the chat if you want to go ahead and take a look at a few more things. It's going to be a very interesting next week or so.
We have a lot of viewers. I did not realize.
Yeah, we have 250.
Oh, dang.
We all appreciate you being here from the bottom of our heart.
Yes, we really appreciate you tuning in tonight because this is a very serious situation.
Could this be the earliest forming Cat 4 hurricane? I don't think it's going to get up to Cat 4. Me personally, I don't think
it's not going to surpass it.
It's not.
When did Dennis become a 4? I'm just curious.
That is another potential system that it's very uncertain, but that could do a similar track to this one. It could be more of a land threat. It could die off. The system behind it is very inaccurate. I don't know. It's too uncertain. I wouldn't really go with what AccuWeather's saying.
Yeah.
It's like way too uncertain. I wouldn't just take their forecast because they haven't been too accurate recently.
Not as of right now. We'll still pay attention to it right now. Okay, here's another question. What is about the thing behind it, trailing it? We were kind of talking about it earlier. It's a new area of interest that was tagged. It's been really ramping up in the probabilities over the last little bit. I'll briefly go over it one more time. 40% probability of development. Main threat for right now is flash flooding. That's the two main things you have right now. And the reason I say that is because Beryl's moving through, a lot of rainfalls, saturates the ground. This new system moves through, oversaturates it, a lot of runoff happens. That's essentially the topics we were talking about.
Give me a second. I'm trying to confirm when Dennis actually became a 4. I'm not doing this because it will happen. I am just curious.
Yeah.
All right,
Because
00Z model suite is starting to come in. The first model that is starting on the 00Z suite is the Icon model from Germany. So I'm going to check that out and see
I'll take a look
if
at
it's
the
strengthened
Icon.
on there or not.
I want to answer Anthony real quick. No, it's not going to go towards Alabama. And Texas, it's a little more uncertain. But no, it's not going towards Alabama.
It's
I
too
will
far
say
out for
over
any
the-
U.S. impact.
Okay, that's true.
By the way, over the next 24 hours, Icon has decreased pressure for it since last run. Last run, it was 1,010 with almost no convection, and now it's 1,009 with a good amount of convection. A good amount of convection on its southwest side.
You know
Looking more.
You know what?
What?
It could.
Huh.
Dennis didn't turn into a 4 until, I think,
Yeah.
near mid-July.
Yep.
So if this thing does the perfect play of the card,
It's
it could
official
be
from the
Dennis.
NHC that we have a tropical storm. Yes, we do. It is official from the
it
National
could
Hurricane
be
Center.
Dennis. Wow.
By the way, the Icon is no longer showing as much weakening as it did since
Let me look at
last
these-
run.
Let me look at these advisories a little more, but I'm telling you now, it could beat Dennis if it does it perfectly. I'm looking at the advisory archive right now. Give me a sec. I want to see this.
It definitely could go more north. I'm answering less duet. I don't know that name. He is yes,
Okay,
it
the
could go
Barbados
more
Prime
north.
Minister just issued a statement in regards to Beryl. I'm gonna see if I can pull that up very quickly.
I want to see if I can read it. Can someone link it?
Y'all think it's too late to make a video? Oh shoot!
It's 10 o'clock. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to find it. I'll read it later.
The Prime Minister of Barbados?
I'll read it later.
No, Ian, no, U.S. impacts are not out of the question. I do think it's very possible.
Yeah. Hey, I was just stopping by to let you know that I appreciate your work with you and your channel. I really appreciate all of you guys coming and supporting me tonight. It's been an unbelievable stream tonight. Over $200 was donated by you guys. You guys have been very generous to us tonight. We really appreciate all of it, and we always appreciate the new subscribers that come in and get more people engaged with weather. We really appreciate everything you guys have given us, and we could not do this without you guys. So thank you very much for tuning in. I really applaud you guys for sticking with me and some of the shenanigans we've had tonight. Just know that I will not let you down, and I will keep covering this as long as I will, and I will make sure that everyone is prepared, that at least watches my content. Thank you very much.
Unfortunately, this will not be the earliest storm to ever become a Category 4. In 1957, on June 27th, there was a Category 4 hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico, Audrey. And then there was another one in 1966 on June 8th near the Florida Keys, but that wasn't a Category 4, so no, the earliest Category 4 in terms of history was on June 27th, just a day ago, actually, in 1957 in the Gulf of Mexico. So to answer your question, no, it will not be the earliest Cat 4 ever.
All right.
It will be the second earliest Category 4, though, if they can play its cards right, but not the earliest ever.
Okay.
So
and
about
even-
We got a new question.
about the Barbados thing.
Audrey was
can someone
downgraded
tell
Hold
me
on,
the
hold on,
diversity?
hold on. One at a time. Okay. All right. Who wants to go first?
Someone. Oh, you go.
Go ahead. I was going to say, someone said
Come on.
Audrey's been downgraded to a Category 3. Let me confirm this. Oh, she was. So Dennis is the earliest.
All right.
Okay, that's interesting. So never mind. This has a chance to place its cards perfectly. You know what? I take that back. It has a chance. Not a huge chance, but a chance.
Yeah. Okay. All right. In the meantime, let's go
Wait
ahead.
a minute. Pat, can you say what you said about the Barbados statement again? I'm trying to look it up.
Yeah, that they released a statement on Beryl. I couldn't find it. I'll probably find it and read it later tonight and post something about it tomorrow. Anyway, we have another question. Do you think that the pressure will drop more within 24 hours? Like, will the system bomb out? To answer the two-part question, I do think the pressure is going to drop. It's going to intensify. Is it going to be a bomb cyclone? No, probably not, unless we see something rapid happen, which I will say anything can happen at this current point. We'll keep an eye on it for you, though. We will take a couple more questions from you guys, and then we will probably end the stream because it is currently 11:10 right now Eastern time. I know a lot of people need to get to bed very soon, so we will take a couple more questions. Okay. We got a link in here. If that is the official statement, let me go ahead and pull it up. All right.
I'll see it. Anybody have any more questions? What do you say a Cat 4 is possibly on the cards? Yes, but I wouldn't see it too likely right now, unless it can strengthen much faster than possible. But the highest guidance right now is suggesting Category 3. So no, I don't think a Cat 4 is the most likely, but it's definitely possible.
All right. Okay, thanks, Greg D. I'll take a look at that. Will Dominica be affected? It will most likely get the outer bands, but the main effects will be further south from you in areas like St. Vincent and Barbados. Although Dominica could see some outer bands. We'll have to wait and see.
I mean, some models are showing it more north, so definitely
we'll pay attention to it. All right, we will take one more question, and then we'll end the stream. Remember, like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are new. It really helps us out and helps us make more streams like these. We will continue coverage right here. Thank you very much for all the mad love and support.
Did you say someone posted a link?
Okay.
I did not ask that question.
There's the link.
Yeah, I see it.
Someone asked a very good question. I will let you. St. Vincent is mountainous. Can it disrupt the system? No, only because it is moving decently fast and it is too small of an island to, unlike Haiti or Cuba. And also, the mountainous part, especially with y'all recently having a potential eruption, is very bad with landslides and fires. If that is true, I would be very concerned about that.
Okay, I can't find anything in regards to the statement.
Weather alert.
No, I found something.
Post it in the Discord.
Weather statement, Prime Minister Motley, June 28th.
Weather alert.
Someone said, will Jamaica get hurricane?
Post it in the Discord.
Has a decent chance of getting a potential hurricane, depending on evolution.
Is it in the Discord yet? I'm trying to find it.
Someone, okay, I'm gonna answer two questions.
It is a YouTube link. I doubt you'll actually be able to stream it because it's something.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. I'll watch it on my own time for copyright reasons.
I'll summarize it.
Weather alert. No, it's not gonna. Most likely not gonna hit the Bahamas in April. No, it's not gonna hit Tallahassee.
That's fine. Okay, I want to say two more things before we get to the summary. Number one, convection on this. I've been monitoring it. -70 is starting to wrap around a little bit. Keep a very close eye on that later tonight. I will definitely do that. There will be a video out tomorrow afternoon talking about the increasing threat. Number two, thank you for all the love and support you guys have sent tonight. What's the official statement from the Barbados from the Prime Minister? Sorry, I stuttered a little bit.
You're good.
What's the official statement? Do we know?
I'm watching it right now.
Okay.
I did get some new information. The Minister of Public Affairs, I believe, will be speaking today, including in this video, and tomorrow morning. There will be another statement by him tomorrow morning, and there will be another statement by the Barbados Prime Minister tomorrow evening.
All right, perfect. Okay. All right. I will take one more Okay, I don't think we have any more questions right there. Okay. All right.
Someone asked.
What's up?
Someone asked any warnings or alerts.
Oh yeah,
Actually, I haven't checked.
Not right now. I expect them to be at 5 a.m.
Yes, or 2 or 1, 2 a.m. Whatever.
Yep. All right. I am.
Is the no?
No,
Oh my
Alright.
gosh.
get rid
So
of it.
MTW, I believe.
Okay.
MTW, I believe, like our version of FEMA and whatever. Their version of FEMA and their their weather service are looking around and preparing for the storm in the flood-prone areas of Barbados. So
All right.
we're doing that already, and they're going to continue throughout tomorrow and Sunday.
Okay. All right. All right. Will it hit St.
I'm
Lucia?
sorry.
One last question. Then I have to close the stream. Will it hit St. Lucia? Most likely, yes. It's gonna be north. It's gonna be storm's gonna be south of there, but definitely hurricane force winds are not off the table if this develops the way I think it is. But
I'm sorry for laughing. As soon as you tried to end the stream, a new tornado warning was issued for Minnesota for 2-inch hail and
Okay.
a tornado.
All right.
That is
Okay.
convenient.
all right,
Alright,
we'll keep an
so
eye on it. But
Queen.
Hold
So,
on.
hold on.
Okay.
All right.
I was just gonna say, don't end it yet. I would like to post this information real quick,
That's
just in case someone's
okay.
watching from Minnesota. And
all right. All right. Go ahead.
Thank you,
All
everybody.
right. Okay. Finish up your final thoughts, and we're gonna end the stream. That's what we're gonna do.
Watch out! Watch out! That's what I have to say. Watch
Yeah.
out.
Oh, I'm also
Hurricane.
gonna summarize what the Prime Minister Motley.
All right.
Motley, is it?
Okay.
Can we confirm Motley is saying, and then we can end it. Hopefully.
There's the warning for people on the people watching anywhere. If you're in South Central Polk County, if you are in northeastern Norman County and northwest Menominee County, I hope I pronounced it correct, in northwestern Minnesota, you're under a tornado warning for a potential for a tornado and 2-inch hail in diameter, which is crazy because Minnesota's not even, it's barely in the marginal. And it's radar.
All right. Okay. Let's
So
briefly.
the Prime Minister.
Yeah. Let's briefly go wrap this up. And yeah.
But Prime Minister Motley of Barbados has specifically asked Queen Elizabeth Hospital and the Minister of Public Affairs and of National something. He has specifically told them, and they will put out PSAs for people, especially elderly people, to stock up on medication, food, water, and whatever they need to do. They're going to try to get as much people to know about this as possible.
All right.
I am about 1:43 out of 10 minutes in this, so
Well, we can.
excuse me for periods of silence.
That's fine. That's fine. We'll probably just go ahead and I'll watch it on my own anyway, and I'll go ahead and do a brief summary.
I'll just go through this.
That's fine.
And then we can hopefully end it.
That's fine. All right. That's fine. Okay. This is gonna be it. All right. Okay. Let's just. All right. All right. What a stream it's been tonight. We've had so much coverage all over the place. It's been incredible, all across the place. What I'll say is thank you for everyone who tuned in. You made my night tonight. You guys absolutely killed it with the likes, with the mad support, with the donos, with the subscribers, with everything. I could not have been more thankful for that. This is something I've been doing for the last 3 years, and I want to keep doing it. And tonight, you guys had a big step in me doing that. So before I close, I'm going to before I close and give it back to Yoshi to finish up the Motley's points. I want to say one more time: be sure to like the video. Well, not to like the video, but like the stream. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll keep you updated. Take it away.
All right.
Yep.
I'm looking at the right now for those who are left. Anyone in Barbados, if anyone in Barbados is watching, I am watching your Prime Minister Motley, if that's how you pronounce their name. Some correct me. I'm actually not watching that, so I won't even know. But they are saying that if you plan to go to a shelter, which you should go to, by the way, that you should bring that you should bring any valuable items that you have with you. That does include, but not limited to, medications and important medication that you will need for your health. Any passports, if you have any, anything for identification, such as driver's licenses and IDs, if you have that. When you go to the shelter, I believe the shelter themselves will already have food, so you probably won't be required to say that, but look that up yourself. I don't want to be like the reason why people are going to go starving in shelters if they don't have food. But I do expect them to have food, all right?
All right. Okay.
Expect them to have food, but be prepared if they don't.
Okay.
And I'm going to watch more of this, but I'm going to watch more of this if anyone else has anything to say.
We'll probably end the stream right here then. I think we got the main points across, if that's okay.
Real quick, I do want to mention that...
we can do that.
Hold on. Okay, Tristan, one at a time. Tristan.
Tuna's here.
Wait.
Hi.
What's up?
Hey, what's up?
Lots happened. That's what's up. Tristan, go ahead.
This is a small system. Do not pay attention to the cone entirely. You need everybody in the Leeward Islands need to monitor this. Flash flooding, rip currents, lahars if you're in St. Vincent and potentially Montserrat, depending on the structure of the system, depending on how close you are. Also watch out for the potential of lahars. You also got rip currents potentially be involved. And the strength is also not certain. Please pay attention to your local officials, National Hurricane Center. If you live near lahar zones, please make sure you have a plan on what to do in case of lahars, mudslides, and so forth. Also, I do want to say this little funny statement real quick. I love how a tornado warning occurs right when we're trying to end the stream. Pretty iconic. But otherwise,
yeah.
Thank you all for attending the stream. We appreciate it at the bottom of our hearts, and we appreciate doing this content and coverage for you tonight.
All right. Okay. All right. If anyone doesn't have anything else, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up.
Just remember the cone is very uncertain past 3 days, so don't focus on it like we said anywhere. Really, most places in the Caribbean have to watch out. So yeah, just keep in touch with your weather office.
All right.
And the National Hurricane Center.
Okay. I will end with this note right now. I'm noticing some more convection is firing up on Beryl. I will keep a very close eye on it late into tonight. I will be posting a video tomorrow afternoon, and I might live stream again tomorrow night since this got so much love and support. If you guys are up for that, I'd be more than thrilled to do that again, just to give you some updates. It won't be as long. It'll be about 2 hours or so, but for those of you who are left...
I'll try to be there.
Yeah, those of you who are left, one in the chat if you want to stream tomorrow night from Pat's Path Predictor. One in the chat if you want to stream from me tomorrow night. That way I'll know. Triple P the GOAT, thank you very much. John is saying one. Everyone is doing it. Yo, the homie David just said one. Dave, another buddy of mine. All right. We'll plan for another stream tomorrow. It won't be as long. It'll probably, instead of starting at 8, it'll probably start, it'll start at 8 tomorrow. We'll probably go for a couple of hours instead of 3. Mainly because, as much love as this, I had fun doing this, I had a really long day today IRL, so I need to get some sleep. But with that being said, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. It helps us out, helps us get more streams and videos out like these. The goal of this channel, as always, is to get more people engaged with weather. Thank you, everyone, for helping with the stream tonight, and thank you for tuning in. Stay safe,
everybody.
Yep.
See ya, y'all.
Stay safe.
Stay safe, everyone.
Yep.
Stay safe.
See ya.
Yep.
Thank
Stay
you,
safe.
everybody, for coming.
I can't even say my tagline. Okay. Stay safe, everybody.